Looks like you've been crunchy ties. Lucas here with an audio test. Looks alright.
Oh, I've been crunchitized so hard you won't even believe it. Sound test, sound test. That looks good. A sound test with just me always looks good.
I was thinking, we could do a bit. We could pretend like Seth is here, and when we ask Seth, often we can just like extrapolate. We can just pretend like his audio is down. We're like, "Hey, Seth, what do you think about this?" And we're like, "Whoa, you know,
Oh,
lady."
like he's doing it virtually with us this time, but it's a big double cross.
Exactly. We can reveal at the end.
I'm gonna look real quick while I saw that you put in votes and whatnot for a lot of things.
Yeah, I think all but like best tangent.
I love that. Oh, Seth did too. I love that you went huge on Ishtar and Million Dollar Duck again and again. But for Million Dollar Duck, you didn't know anybody's
Yeah, I
names.
forgot all their names.
You
Main
just
guy,
put
mom.
main guy, mom, and then you didn't even care to put anybody's names in for Lyle for worsts everything except Javier Bardem.
He did have a bad performance.
I think you can't put Shawn Mendes in as worst actor though because he was
I
just
sure
a voice
can.
actor.
I sure can.
Let's see.
ScarJo almost got nominated for best actress.
That's true. Never mind. You're right.
Suck it. How should we start this bitch?
We're doing it where he's the thing, you know? You remember?
The Rock?
Yeah, where he's Iraq.
He's
What the fuck? Seth voted for Best Picture What We Do in the Shadows, When Harry Met Sally, Tu Wong Fu, When Harry Met Sally, Napoleon Dynamite.
He met Ishtar. Or Million
Did
Dollar
he?
Duck. He gave Ishtar a
Seth
good score.
Seth did not vote for many worst pictures. Just Lyle, Monster Trucks, Lyle, and Lyle.
Yeah, it's gonna win.
What about Love on a Leash, though?
No, that has some charm to it. Unlike Red Notice.
I'm surprised you didn't put John Heater down for Best Actor.
Who did I put instead?
Patrick Swayze,
Mm-hmm.
Pedro Pascal,
Mm-hmm.
Main Guy,
Mm-hmm.
Dustin Hoffman, and Warren Beatty.
Yeah, I think those are all deserving.
You think Main Guy, no named guy, is better than John Heater?
They had a better awards run, awards push.
Apparently. I
Million
don't
Dollar
know.
Duck.
I'm trying to decide if I want to vote for one of the actors from Ishtar for Best Actor.
Who do you think was more dynamic, more of an acting job?
It's tough. I'm close on both of them, but I don't know if either of them will get my last vote.
You're gonna
I'm
split the
torn.
vote.
Because I kind of want to put Taika Waititi in there too.
Yeah.
Or Sotto Voce.
Mm-mm.
And
He's a
I'm
guy from
surprised you
Silicon Valley.
really.
Yeah, he's a white guy.
I'm surprised you didn't put Tommy Wiseau in for worst actor.
I had him in there at one point, and I took him out.
Because you had Little Nerd Kid, Javier Bardem, and Shawn Mendes, and Main Kid, and Ryan Reynolds.
I had Main Kid from what?
Monster Trucks.
Okay, yeah,
Who I literally put in my notes right above it.
he sucks.
Lucas Till.
How are we starting this bitch?
With Seth being virtual, but we can't hear him.
No, I was gonna do that bit for the whole podcast.
Oh, we have to keep that up the whole time?
Mm-hmm. Anytime we would just want to like any sort of like oppositional points, we can be like, "What do you think so, Seth?" And then a couple seconds, why? We can start with that anyways, and then just continue it. Okay.
And last for all the award stuff, because we'll have to find a time when we can get Seth so we can finalize everything. What do you think for replacement award for best voice actor?
What are the contenders?
Well, we were all supposed to put things down, but I was the only one that put
Oh.
anything down. I put best guest.
That's probably a good one.
Best movie moment.
Yeah,
I put best quote.
maybe.
I put best Nicole Kidman bits.
No.
And I think my favorite one that I put down was best cat's fact name. So we can have put the facts in the bag, half your age plus facts.
That'd probably be a good one. I'll have to dig through them, but that's fine.
I write a lot of them down. I have a plethora of notes. That's how I know all of my tangents and running gags and what I type in the bios for the episode. So
that'll help.
Yeah. What are we drinking today, Seth? Whoa, that's not what we're drinking. We're not drinking cum.
Hey. Yeah, exactly. Now you're getting it.
Okay. I'm ready for that. I'm down. Capping. Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Wait, how are we starting this bitch though? Because I thought that's how we were starting it.
We could do a Captain Crunch thing.
We probably shouldn't do a Captain Crunch thing. People are gonna be confused. We could do one that we've done when like we lost Devin on the podcast, and we could do one where it's like we lost Seth, and I'll just play like sad classical music over it. Like we're at his funeral.
That does contradict the idea that he's not here, though.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we can't do that.
Let's just red notice. We could pretend it's a communist talent show called Red Notice. Red Notice me.
Where
it's the best communist.
Red Notice me.
Yeah. It's a
this
show.
week on. Yeah, this week on Red Notice.
Red Notice.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right, I'm down. This is gonna be horrendous.
And Seth's gotta be in here too.
All right, you ready?
You can be the performers, yeah. All right, I'm ready.
1, 2, 3, play. This week on Red Notice.
It's Red Notice. This week
Honey,
we're live in Moscow, scouring the city for talent. The world's best communist is out there. Could it be you?
Whoa, Seth, whoa.
Whoa. Hey, keep it PG here.
Yeah, Jesus, man.
I know you're the performer. Yeah, let's not Seth do this one. Yeah. Take this one. Our next performer is here to... What are you doing today, sir?
I'm out to get vodka.
And what exactly is your talent to be noticed as a red?
I drink vodka.
Ooh,
very
he's drinking
fast.
Vodka, folks. He's drinking vodka. Let's hear it for the man and let's see it.
I did it. Do you notice me?
We notice you. Unfortunately, we are not approving of your talents. I'm gonna have to give a thumbs down myself. What about you, Paula Abdul?
I thought your outfit was great. And what about you, Randy Jackson?
Seth. That is horrific.
That is the most vile thing I've ever heard.
We have to stop.
You need to shut up. Okay. Bro, you need to chill over here.
That's crazy.
Let's get Red Noticed up in this bitch.
Just because he's on Zoom doesn't mean you can act like this, Seth.
Yeah,
just because you're outside of our boundaries of our normal physical space.
So Seth usually joins me here in my office, but he had to do it virtually this week on his snowball little mic that Devin's got. So he's doing it virtually, but apparently without me by his side, he's a loose cannon.
Yeah, and he was saying he doesn't know if his audio is working or not. I'm sure it is. So
I can hear him, so
yeah,
I can hear him just fine. So, I mean, if for some reason, if he was right, you could tune into the YouTube and you could see. You could also see me wearing my captain's hat.
Yes, your Captain Crunch, you said.
My Captain Crunch hat. I went to Cracker Barrel yesterday for brunch. This is just sitting there. I also bought socks with sharks on them, so I was like,
Did you pay for it?
I did. Yeah, I didn't.
Oh.
I thought about making a 3D printed hat to exchange it and then sneak out with it, but I didn't.
Good bit.
I didn't have that time.
The way you framed it made it sound like you just grabbed a hat that was at a table. You're just sitting there.
No, it was in the... Seth, you don't know that Cracker Barrel has a gift shop?
He's drunk or something.
Have you never been to a Cracker Barrel? It's the whole entrance. Like,
you can't get in without it. Did you play the little tic-tac-toe game?
Of course. The peg game.
The peg game.
Seth, not that kind of peg game. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
My God. We did a movie.
We did do a movie today, in fact.
Yeah, we did. And I've got some questions for you.
Ready.
First question.
Go.
Hike. Hockey pucks.
Nice.
First question is, do you like superhero films?
I sure don't.
Because this movie sure had a lot of superhero actors in it.
Yeah, and superhero like beats, superhero sort of themes, if you can call them that.
My other question for you is, do you like heists and double crosses and stuff?
I do. Intrigue.
I think
twists and
heist things are awesome. Like, give me those Oceans movies. Steven Soderbergh, amazing. I also love that one random episode of Rick and Morty where they do all the heists. Have you seen that one?
Is it in the first 3 seasons?
It's in the 4th season, so.
No.
Seth, I know you have.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Chill.
But, so if you like heists or superhero films and actors in them, you've come to the right place. This is the good, the bad, and the movies. Movies. And
I'm Lucas.
You got Lucas, Seth virtually, me, Brandon, Tigner,
Devin cannot be here
Snedeker.
today, unfortunately.
Yeah, I almost had Devin. Had Devin. Yeah. So I messaged him separately. I was like, hey, can you make it on? He's like, sure. Yeah. What time we going tomorrow? I was like, Lucas said like 6. And he's like, damn, I got a dinner from like 5 to 9. I was like, that's the longest dinner. And he's like, well, it's with my son and my aunt. I was like, fine, whatever. But we need you next week. This is actually our season 6 finale before we do our bracket. Yeah, clap it up. Chew it up. What are you eating? Dots pretzels?
Yeah, but the honey mustard ones.
I
think Alex is pulling a pizza out as well.
Nice. So this is our season finale. I figured we would do like this big kind of well, it is big movie. Budget. I thought it was okay. I'll say it now.
I did not.
I loved it. Seth, we're already saying what we're thinking. So what do you think?
I mean, yeah, we
kind of seems in line.
Coming.
Yeah, that seems in line with you.
Not like vampires. Is that what you said?
Well, I mean, it's no Morbius, but
there was no Morbius.
There was not a Morbius, but this week we watched Red Notice from 2021, a Netflix original film. Had you heard of it at all?
No, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I feel like, did you hear of it before?
I had. There were 2 that I
way onto its podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Seth? Yeah, I figured you hadn't heard of it. It was between this and another like actiony Netflix film that nobody had ever heard of called Gray Man.
Also shitty.
I haven't seen that one, but
It's bad. I saw that one, and then I watched Barry Lyndon after, and Barry Lyndon was so good, so full of heart. So I'm looking for something after this one.
But before we get into it, we're drinking beers. Red Notice. I got us. Well, it was supposed to be me and Seth, but he had to do it virtually. Red's Apple Ale. Obviously,
That makes sense.
Red. I like Angry
Yeah.
Orchard ciders more. I think I've done Red's Apple Ale on here once before.
I feel like I drank some of those when I was like 19.
When I was like 11.
Yeah.
Lucas, what are you drinking?
I have a Dr. Pepper cream soda, 0 sugar. I also have a little red sports drink.
Nice.
Kirkland
Seth?
style.
What the fuck?
Vile.
You're not drinking cum. Jesus
on.
Christ. Oh my god. So 5% alcohol for me. I haven't had dinner yet, so we'll see where I get with 3 of them, but they're fruity and light. Director today.
He's got a dumb name.
It's a long name. Ross and Marshall Thurber.
Thunder,
Thurber.
isn't it?
No, it's Thurber.
Oh, I thought it was Thunder. That's
Thurber, I hardly know her.
Thunder, I hardly know her.
Seth, you would Thurb a girl.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely would.
What movies have he done? I know a couple.
So he did things that I did not know that he had done. Never heard of this director before, but when I looked at his filmography, I was like, oh shit. Like his first ever film that I saw that he really did was Dodgeball, a true underdog story.
Yeah, it's a pretty charming little spoof of a sports movie.
I love Dodgeball. He did
I think
one
Dodgeball
called
came out at the right time when a lot of us were like 8 or 10 or whatever. We're like, yeah, that's pretty great. I don't know if it holds up.
I still think it's pretty good if you watch it back again. Ben Stiller's performance is great in it.
I'll have to check it out. He does go pretty over the top.
He did a movie called The Mysteries of Pittsburgh. I don't know what's going on in that town. He did Marina loves this movie. We're the Millers.
That seems like a pretty schlocky comedy movie. I bet that made like $400 million or something.
I bet it did. It's relatively funny as well. I'll watch it. It's a mindless comedy that I can put on and just kind of enjoy.
Yeah, isn't it Ed Helms? Is he the main guy?
No, Jason Sudeikis is the main, but Ed Helms is the double-crossing drug lord.
That's right. I didn't like him in that.
No, I didn't either. A movie that Devin loves, Marry Me.
Yeah.
You remember when we brought up Annie Hall and he's like, well, it's maybe it's no Marry Me. Yeah, Seth, that's the Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, with Owen Wilson.
Yeah, that is J-Lo. That is who they're talking about. Yeah, Seth.
Ka-chow.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, and I don't know why, Seth, but like, so we watched Fool's Gold, and then we watched Friends with Benefits, and then he went to Denver.
That's not the name of a movie. Yeah. Devin went to Denver.
Devin actually did go to Denver, Seth. And then we watched The Hottie and the Naughty without him. That was a great episode with Marina and Alex. And then he came back and we're like, because he was like, oh, I hate rom-coms, everyone. So we're like, well, let's change your mind. Let's do a masterpiece, which is how we started doing the masterpiece for themed months. And then he was like, well, I watched Marry Me, and that changed my life. I was like, what the fuck?
He said it's the perfect rom-com or something to that effect.
And then we watched Annie Hall.
And he was pretty mid on it. I think he liked Annie Hall in the end, but I think he liked Marry Me better.
You haven't seen Annie Hall, have you? I didn't think so. You would love Annie Hall. You should watch Annie Hall.
Redo Annie Hall on the podcast?
No, I'm just saying Seth should probably watch it.
We can do Manhattan.
Or Little Manhattan.
No.
Okay. 2 more things that he's directed is Central Intelligence. Who is in that? That came out very recently.
I think that's The Rock.
I thought it was The Rock too. Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's one of The Rock's boys.
And then the last one that he did was the movie called Skyscraper with The Rock as well. Yeah.
Is that the one? What's the one with the gorilla. Is that called Rampage?
Yeah, that also has The
Yeah.
Rock, but that's not
Fucking
his
hate The
directing.
Rock.
The guy who did Rampage was the guy who did San Andreas.
Yeah, that's right.
And
He's
then
not a boy.
our writer today is Rawson Marshall Thurber again. He's got the
Yep.
same filmography for writing, except he didn't write We're the Millers or Marry Me. So
Because we're for hire jobs.
yeah, apparently the ones that
Probably just
Marina
better
and Devin
movies.
love.
Yeah. Not of his
Um,
originality.
no.
He
And
wrote this
then
one though.
he
Plot
wrote the
twist. Kind
yeah.
of.
And then a cast for you. You got Dwayne The Rock
Ugh.
Johnson.
Just he's just like a fucking wooden slab.
I know both of
In
your takes.
this.
We've already done it. Yes, I know, Seth. We've done this. We did it with
Yeah.
San Andreas.
Yeah. I think he looks like a frog in this one. He's like wearing the suit the whole time, but he's just too big to be like a leading man and not a
like
villain or a henchman. He's too big. He
like
looks
Ryan Reynolds.
like a fucking creature.
Like Ryan Reynolds is a 6 foot tall, like very lean, like but muscular
Slimy.
man, and he looks like a twig next to The Rock the whole time.
Yeah, well, he looks normal, and he looks like he's wearing a
yeah.
suit. The Rock literally looks like a Pokemon of sorts. He just waddles around with a gigantic fucking suit on.
Yes, that's exactly like Golem. I was gonna say Golem too. Yeah.
Correct.
Um,
It hurts every movie he's in. It's like hard to like judge a movie for that point, but his size.
people
Hurts
love
movies.
him.
It
Highest paid
hurts.
actor in Hollywood.
It hurts his movies that he's that big.
It's the people's Rock.
Just take a month off of lifting.
He does. I think he does. He does. Yeah.
He does.
I think he does fit into like the Fast and Furious semi decent across from like Vin Diesel and Jason Statham.
Makes a little more sense.
And apparently now Jason Momoa and Charlize Theron and Brie Larson and Ludacris and Tyrese Gibson and Michelle Rodriguez and
those kind of make sense. Or they're like cartoony,
yeah,
way over the top. I mean, this is cartoony and over the top, but it's just he's too big.
Dwayne Johnson. We already mentioned Ryan Reynolds isn't here.
Fuck him.
You've got Gal Gadot.
Hey,
Is it Gal Gadot?
Gal Gadot.
That's what I thought. That rhymes.
Nice rhyme.
Thanks.
Of course, she is a former Israeli army member, like all true Israelis.
Is she? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how she knows all that karate and shit.
Oh, wow.
It's called Krav Maga over there, I believe, or some shit.
Krav Maga.
Or is that Brazilian? I think that's fucking Israeli.
I thought that was Brazilian. Anyway, but those three are all. Oh no, maybe it is Israeli. All three of those are superheroes, and then you've got Ritu Arya. You got the most Greek name I've ever heard of, Chris Diamantopoulos.
Diamantopoulos.
Yeah. You got Ivan.
He's Canadian, and he's in Silicon Valley, and he's doing like a fucking horrific accent. He's playing a Spanish arm dealer.
Sota voce.
Yeah.
You've got yeah. You've got Ivan Bakop, MBAKOP. Fuck me. KOP.
KOP. Okay.
KO. Yeah. Just shut up, Seth. I know. You've got Vincenzo Amato. Raphael Patardi. And Ed Sheeran.
Mm-hmm. He did make it in there, which icing on the cake, really.
I know, Seth, that you wish it were Dom Hall Gleason. It's not Dom Hall Gleason. Jesus.
That would have been so much better.
I love Dom Hall too. It was just Frank. Frank is their musical guest. That's the triple cross at the end.
Or if this movie was just Frank instead.
Frankincense. Oh, you could do that for your birthday pick.
You could. And I'm gonna do a brighter summer day.
I know you. No, we're not doing that one. It's too long.
Of course we are. You'll just have to watch it in 3 or 4 segments.
Because Seth and I watch it together, which means I can't do that.
You'll just have to start watching it pretty soon.
Yeah, apparently. God damn, it's 4 hours, people. And that's a cast. Big name cast. Big O.
Yeah, big O. Get that Sligo.
Fucking this bitch and she sucking my dick.
Yeah.
That's your favorite rap, Seth. A plot. An Interpol agent successfully tracks down the world's most wanted art thief with the help from a rival thief, but nothing is as it seems as a series of double crosses ensues.
Sure is. It's kind of James Bond meets the Ocean's movies, I would say, in like a Marvel universe sort of way.
That's not a bad way to put it.
Thank you. Is it a good way?
Yeah,
Oh.
you're welcome.
Oh.
But the plot intrigues me right away. Like I said, I love a good double cross thing.
Have you seen
Seth, a
all the
hezzy
Bond
tween
movies?
tween. Yeah. No, I have not.
Have you seen all the Craig Bond movies?
The Matt Damon ones?
No, the Daniel Craig ones.
Oh, I was thinking you were talking about the Bourne movies. I've not seen all the Bourne movies. I have definitely not seen all the Bond movies, and I have not seen all the Craig Bond. I've only seen Casino Royale.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I need to watch Skyfall. I've heard I need to watch Skyfall.
Skyfall's good. They're all pretty good, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No Time to Die. One with Christoph Waltz is pretty good.
Oh yeah, that Spectre. That's right.
Spectre.
Oh, and they've all got their songs, you know. But yeah,
Little
I have
ditties.
not.
Ow!
And I need to catch up on the Mission Impossibles too. Those are fun as well.
I
The
haven't seen those as well, and those are pretty cool, I've heard.
The last one I watched was Ghost Protocol, which blew my mind whole.
Ooh. I've heard Fallout is next level too.
Yeah, I have heard that. Not my butthole, Seth. It did not fall out my butthole.
Wow.
History. You want to hear some history today?
Of Red Notice?
No, just general history.
Oh, okay.
I just start talking about like Genghis Khan and shit.
Nice.
Of course, about Red Notice. This is a 2021 American action comedy film. Originally planned for release by Universal Pictures, the film was acquired by Netflix for distribution. It began a limited theatrical release on November 5th, 2021, before digitally streaming on the platform a week later on November 12th, 2021. Netflix claims the film became the most watched film in its debut weekend, as well as the most watched film within 28 days of release on the platform in Netflix, displacing a previous film we've done on here, Bird Box.
Bird Box.
It has also become... You haven't seen Bird Box?
Nope.
You didn't even watch it before we did it on the podcast?
No, I did like the episode, though.
It's a good episode. Do you ever do the Bird Box? Yes, at the Bird Box challenge where you put your... You close your eyes, you blindfolded yourself and tried to walk around the house and see if you didn't die?
Didn't do Bird Box challenge.
What happened with yours, Seth? No fucking way. Really? Jesus.
No clothes?
Yeah. And you fell into her? Oh my god.
Classic big dog.
I hate he does. It also became the 5th most streamed movie title of 2021. Just for you, I'm sure you guys probably noticed by watching the end of the film, but 2 sequels are in development and will be filmed back to back with Dwayne Reynolds and Godot, and Thurber expected to return as the writer-director. Cool. There are rumors of an ensemble cast for the sequels similar to the Ocean series, with some potential actors that were considered for this film appearing in the sequels, such as Tom Cruise, Nicolas Cage, and Keanu Reeves.
Sure, why not? Next one will cost $1 billion. Be seen by 5 people.
Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, George Clooney coming back.
I mean, have you ever heard this movie talked about in any capacity?
No, that's the funny thing is everybody I've mentioned it to, oh, I maybe heard of it, and they're like, well, did you watch it? Like, no, I did not.
I've never heard it in any sort of discourse at all. Did not know it was a thing. Did not know The Rock was in it until I turned it on.
I just remember seeing an ad for it with Marina, and we were like, "What is this? This is just names." Like,
Exactly.
and then we didn't watch it. So
Here we are.
here we are, and it's budget time.
The budget bitches.
The budget bitch.
Budget
Coming on down to
bitch.
the budget bitch. Budget bitch. Budget bitch is a trademark of The Good, the Bad, and the Movies. Anybody who tries to replicate will be prosecuted, not persecuted.
Budget bitch. Budget liar.
Liar, liar, vampire.
A goated movie.
Well, I wouldn't say goated.
What's
Yes,
goated?
there were vampires in it, Seth.
He
You
needs to
should
watch
watch
that.
that. You need to watch that. Seth. You would
Yeah.
love the staring contest
Might be his new
finale.
favorite movie.
He's like, move aside, Frank. We're doing Liar, Liar, Vampire again for my birthday.
That'd be great.
Budget. Seth, what do you think the budget for this is? I'm not letting you go one up on Lucas. Okay.
Okay. I know
Lucas?
what the budget is.
What is the budget?
I think it's 200 million. I saw that accidentally
Yeah.
checking out the runtime.
Yeah, it's 200 million, Seth.
That's crazy.
120 is a reasonable guess, but yeah, $200 million.
No, I'm with you, Seth. That is like a absurd amount of money to spend on a movie.
And you want to know a crazy part of this budget is when I was doing my research, I found that $60 million of it was just paid to the three leads. Each of them were paid $20 million for their role. Gal Gadot was being lowballed, and she was like, "Nah, I need that rock money."
That milk money. I think the director probably, I would bet, raked in a similar fee. The director-writer.
Probably.
This is a lot of money. Yeah. I think
milk money. That just got to me.
We can get to the box office returns too, but I don't know if they're warranted. But Netflix did their own shit right now.
Yeah. So, yes, Seth, you can use what I said in the history. So, like I said, 1 week at the theaters is all it had.
Crazy.
I couldn't find exactly what it was. I did find the opening weekend of how much it made, but not the whole week. Then. So Lucas, you're going first. What do you think it made worldwide, or at least opening weekend? I don't care what you guys guess.
I mean, like $200,000.
Okay.
Seth.
Seth's our winner.
Wow.
It's 1.5 million.
I'm surprised by that. Yeah.
That's how much it made opening weekend, and then as I was trying to find how much it made like worldwide, like in that short time, the one site said it made well north of 2 million. I was like, that could be anything. That could be 2. That could be 3 million. That could be 100 million.
400 million.
It made $8 trillion in 1 week.
But that is like its total then as well.
Yes, that's its total. But then I got onto this big thread of trying to find how you can compute sales from Netflix. And Netflix releases all of its data analytics for how much people watch it. So when you do the math, this is what I found out. So this film had been watched for 278 million hours. So if everyone watches this 200-hour film, sat through the whole thing, that comes out to 139 million households watching it, which is about 2/3 of the Netflix using population that watch this. Where are all these people?
They're shady and they're inflated, I think. I'm sure some people watched it 4 or 5 times, some psychos out there, to inflate the numbers. I'm sure it accidentally autoplayed for most people.
I mean, even if some people do choose to watch it 4 or 5 times, that's like somebody going to the movie theaters and watching the Avengers 4 times.
I know, but Netflix is goofy too, because you can't count that as regular movie sales. Because how many people were just like, fuck it, we'll throw on whatever's on Netflix.
That is true.
Like, I'm gonna go out and purchase a subscription so I can see Red Notice.
Yeah, and I mean that's fair. Like it's way more accessible to get these high numbers. But if you do the computing with the 139 million households, if only one person per household paid a matinee $10 movie ticket price to see it, its global box office would bring in $1.39 billion, making it the 12th highest grossing film of all time.
Yeah,
Had
that's
that
not how it
success
works, though.
translated. Honestly, I bet if this did, like, because it was released like in the height of COVID and everything, that's why it was on Netflix. I bet if
Part
this
of
went
why.
to theaters, I bet it makes close to $1 billion.
I don't no way.
Anything with The Rock is going to, and Ryan Reynolds and all that shit. I'm sure.
I bet in a normal year, if this came out tomorrow, I bet it wouldn't make as much as the fucking Nintendo dudes.
I mean, they made like 500 million so far.
Yeah, I think.
Thank you, Seth.
I think it's like a $200 million. No, you guys are wrong.
You think they just broke even on it?
Yeah, if not flopped.
I went to go see the Mario movie.
You baby.
Marina wanted an icy, so we went to the movie theater.
That's the reason. Was it
We went.
pretty baby?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was baby. It's not what everybody's chalking it up to be, but it's like a 7. It's decent. There's some good nostalgia. It's fun. There's
Were there babies there?
We went on a Monday at 6 p.m. So no, there was like 2 children, but that was about it. It was a very empty theater actually. But it was fun. There were a couple plot holes, there were a couple bad parts, but
yeah. I mean it's Mario.
It's probably about a 7 though. Notice. And this is Red Notice. Yeah. Okay, that's budget. Taglines, Seth. Oh, you're not. I guess I never do it. I never sent it to him. I'll do it. There are 4 of them. First one. Pro and cons.
Dumb. Or reaching.
Well, I'm gonna
a pro art thief and cons.
Yeah, exactly, Seth. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's the best one of the 4.
No, I can't imagine.
The next one is just some seek.
That's I like that. Some seek, some wander.
The next one is some hide.
Ooh, I like where it's going.
And the third one, or the fourth one is
gotta be some seek, some hide, some find.
Okay, Seth. Some thief. Yeah, that's not bad.
No, that's not what he said. He said some doggy.
The fourth one is some escape.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if you had the some seek, some hide, some escape all together, that would be a pretty good tagline. But individually, bad. You just see the poster and it just says some hide. You're like, what the fuck?
I think it's indicative of like a larger marketing campaign, it seems.
Yeah, probably. But I think pro and cons is probably the best.
It's probably one of the characters each had their own like character poster.
Oh, excuse me.
Who was who? I bet The Rock seeks.
He is seek. The Bishop, Gal Gadot's hide, and Ryan Reynolds is escape. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was pretty easy. Taglines of our own. These are not great.
Made by robots.
Where the red notice grows.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Real fucking good. Yeah. Red notice lobster. When you're here, you're happy.
Is that what their slogan is? You're here, you're happy.
No, I think that's part of like it's when you're here, your family, and that's the Olive Garden one.
Yeah, it's Red Lobster.
Yeah,
seafood.
Yeah, I was right.
That is right. Yeah.
Seth, what is Red Lobsters though then? Okay, I mean, I guess.
That doesn't ring a bell.
That's Taco Bell.
No, that's Below the Border.
Have you ever eaten at a Below the Border?
No, is that a thing?
Yeah, that was an actual restaurant. That with the chips. There was one here in Billings for a while, and then it went out of business. But
Below the Border.
Taglines for you guys. I came up with a couple already.
I had one.
What'd you say?
Made by robots.
Oh yeah, that's right. Taylor Swift's Red Notice album.
Yeah. Seth? Gross.
That's fucking disgusting, my guy.
Gross.
Dude.
Red puss.
Red Starbird. Yeah, yeah. You're watching too many TikToks. Okay. Facts time.
Sure.
Red facts. Put the facts in the bag.
Notice.
Put the facts in the bag actually kind of works with this.
Because it's an art thief.
Yeah.
It's a
Egg facts.
Tice. Cleopatra.
Oh shit, Cleopatra. Yeah. That's
do
gotta
that.
be it. Cleopatra's gotta be it. Or yeah, we could do put the facts in the bag, Seth. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he always wants that.
I like Cleopatra. Let's do Cleopatra.
Objection, your facts.
What?
Instead of your honor.
Not the best.
Yeah, we do Cleopatra.
We could do Red Square facts since they were in a Russian prison.
Was that what there were?
At the one point, they were in a Russian prison.
Yeah, he was liking pictures of Putin.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, let's do Cleopatra.
Okay.
Okay. You just had to put the pretzels in your mouth right during our pause.
I got him in though.
I don't know if I could keep this up anymore.
With Seth?
Yeah, we crossed you guys.
We did. It's a twist. He's
not
here.
The first big twist, he's not here. He wasn't having audio problems.
He's having attendance problems.
He's going to get a demerit.
He might. Where is he? Or is that appropriate to share?
I mean, he had to go to the hospital to see his grandpa. He got life flighted in, so. Yeah.
Sorry to
he
say.
was going through like chemo infusions every week. He would travel in on Wednesdays, but then things escalated real quick. So he was like, I should probably go. And I was like, okay.
Well, he's in our prayers and thoughts.
Yes.
Whatever's most applicable.
And Red Notices.
He is. So he did not watch the movie.
No, he did not.
Had you watched the movie before?
I'd never seen. No. I don't think any of us had.
Nobody did.
Nobody. All right. First fact for you. When John Hartley, who is played by Dwayne Johnson, arrives at Sottovoce's masquerade party, he hands security an invitation with a QR code on it. If you pause the scene and scan the code on the screen, it brings you to an unlisted video with the movie's bloopers.
That's so dumb. I fucking hate that shit.
You were ready for something like legit, like something like historical.
Yeah.
No, it's just the bloopers.
I'm sure it was all The Rock, I'm sure, flubbing his lines.
What was that, Seth? No, he's not here. No, it's probably just Ryan Reynolds being a goof.
Hate that guy.
Why do you hate Ryan Reynolds?
Despise him. He's long been one of my least favorite actors. Mostly because of he cannot shake his fucking shtick that he always does. His little quippy thing. And then this movie in particular, we'll get there, but it's just weaponized in the shtickiest of fashions.
I will say that I haven't seen it, but I know that it's played well because that's the character in general from the comics. It works with Deadpool because that's how Deadpool kind of is.
Which was the start of all this bullshit in some form or fashion.
But have you seen Just Friends where he plays the fat guy?
Mm-mm.
And then he slims down and gets hot, and then he tries to win the girl of his dreams back. But she realized that she loved him for his personality instead of his fat the whole time.
I don't wanna. He can never shake the shtick.
Maybe we'll do it on the podcast, so you have to watch it.
Then we're doing Brighter Summer Day as well, which we already did.
Next one is that when they enter the vault in Argentina in an hour 27:38 seconds, John Hartley shines a light on a crate marked Top Secret Army Intel 990-6753 Do Not Open. That's the crate number which holds the Ark of the Covenant at the end of the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Thought it might.
And
yeah,
Ryan Reynolds, Nolan Booth whistled that theme as he was walking down.
he did. I was wondering if they were
Seconds
going to get
before
in
he
trouble for
did.
that.
I don't know. I
I
don't
wonder
have
if they
that
had
in
to
my
like call
facts.
Spielberg and be like, "Hey, we're whistling around the theme. We're invoking you. Let us invoke you."
They did. He did, and
They
he let
invoked.
them apparently.
He did. Jurassic Park was
Next.
talked about all the time too.
Yeah, it was actually. They really invoked him.
There's,
There was
I don't
an
know if
ET.
was there.
No, there was not an
No,
ET in here.
there was. The description of the movie on Netflix was sold as like the main selling point was that there was a Pulp Fiction joke in there. Did your Netflix description have that too?
I didn't read my Netflix
Oh, it was
description, but
like placed around a well-timed Pulp Fiction joke, and there was like a second-long throwaway line,
no, it's the
which
watch
is
from the Pulp Fiction.
yeah, it's
That was
part
it.
of
I said it. There we go.
this movie's crimes.
It's grab. My next fact is that Cleopatra's eggs, the three of them, are the artifacts that are highly sought after as this movie's MacGuffin. But they are a fictional story artifice and do not actually exist in real life. Many cast and crew members were so convinced by the storytelling and history that they thought the Cleopatra's eggs were real.
Fucking morons. That they're making a documentary.
I mean, I thought the storytelling for the Cleopatra's eggs, I mean, I don't think you needed the documentary stuff and the narrating, but like the idea of having these Fabergé golden eggs that existed
it's really no different than the Fool's Gold construct.
That's true.
A better movie than this.
Next, in preparation for filming the Porsche chasing, it was a Jaguar, it wasn't a Porsche.
There was a Porsche one.
Was it?
There's a couple, yeah.
I thought it was a Jaguar. Maybe I was wrong. Where The Rock gets into the little car as he's trying to chase fucking Ryan Reynolds on the bike.
Yeah, he falls through the tent and he steals a Porsche.
Oh, see, I thought it was a Jaguar. When it said I thought when he pushed the start button, it said Jaguar. But anyway, when he does the Porsche chase scene, Dwayne Johnson got stuck trying to get into the car due to his massive frame.
Yeah, you can't drive stuff. He has to drive like a fucking golf cart or something.
When you're driving a Lincoln.
He could drive a Lincoln.
Shots were changed and combined in editing to make Dwayne's entrance and exit from the Porsche appear seamless.
Have to edit around his fucking muscles. I'm eating.
I was trying to think of all the wrestlers that have turned, because we have The Rock, we have John Cena, Dave Bautista. We kind of talked about this in one of our writer's blocks. We were talking about
maybe, or probably San Andreas.
It was probably UFC 8 armbark that we probably discussed them all because we're like, who could Airbud fight?
Hulk Hogan. We probably could talk about that in there.
Yeah. Next one. Both Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson drink their own brands of liquor as their characters.
What is The Rock's Terra Mate or something?
Terramana tequila, while Reynolds drinks Aviation American gin in the film.
Both pretty wildly successful companies, I think.
Never had either of them, but maybe they'd be worth a try.
I doubt it. Jinjo, move.
Next one. The jet-setting globe-trotting movie features numerous exotic locations and settings, including Rome, Bali, Valencia, Cairo, Argentina, Sardinia, and London. However, many of the sites are actually in Georgia, USA, which doubled for numerous locations because of the COVID pandemic.
Yep. And the weaponization of the green screen.
Which I think definitely hurt it, because if you relate it back to like Fool's Gold, it had those beautiful landscape scenes.
Reality, yeah, you could actually film there.
Now, in some of these, I thought they were decent shots, but like when you see him like in the Colosseum in Rome, or when they're walking, when Ryan Reynolds is walking up the beach in Bali, or when they're in the jungle in Argentina, I'm like, nah, this isn't it.
This is a fucking soundstage.
I could clearly tell. Yeah,
shot Ant-Man. Yeah,
I think it could have been a lot better had they had that ability to travel.
I would agree. I generally, practical effects over special effects.
Which I think we
Always.
can. We're reversing our take on Ishtar from last week, where we said I don't think they needed to be in Morocco.
Yeah, yeah. They should have just stayed in New York for that one. But
They
yeah.
could have done it. They could have went to the fucking American Southwest and done it in Arizona or some shit.
But like
Utah.
a movie like this that relies so much upon its setting, I think, is really hurt by the CGI.
Yeah, I mean, like, who's gonna tell the difference between Death Valley and a Moroccan desert when instead you've got Rome and London and Cairo?
In a warehouse.
Yeah, in a warehouse. Next, Sarah. Apparently, that's the name of the bishop.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. She sings Downtown by Petula Clark while torturing John Hartley, to which Nolan quips, she's a good singer. This was actually a sarcastic reference to the severe criticism that actress Gal Gadot received when she covered the John Lennon song Imagine in an online event in 2020 during the beginning of the pandemic.
That makes sense. I remember she was lambasted for that, as she should have been.
Good word.
That whole video was just celebrity jerking themselves off.
It was so cringy. Did I ever tell you the one where it was like John Lennon, or not John Lennon, he's dead. John Mayer was like, "Hey, can you do this? With all of us. We're singing Imagine," but he accidentally sang Imagine by
Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande. Right. Let's see if I can play it real quick.
Here with a current mood mini. So this week, Gal Gadot and a bevy of other celebrities.
Oh, he said Gadot.
A rendition of John Lennon's Imagine.
That was Gadot. Maybe it's
far
Gadot.
and wide across the internet. I have to come clean about something. They actually asked me to be a part of this and the album. Sweet.
Oh, here's Gal Gadot singing.
Cut. Take a look.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try.
Kristen Wiig.
No hell below us.
I don't know who that is.
Me with no makeup, you in the bathtub, bubbles and bubbly. Ooh.
They're all just singing this. Me with no makeup, me in the bathroom.
Yeah. Sounds like he did that on purpose.
Either way, that is comedy. That's hilarious.
He's a funny guy.
It's supposed to bring everybody together for COVID. He's singing Ariana Grande.
I think part of the thing of this movie though too is it's pretty timely cultural references, which tend to date a movie as well.
Yeah, you'll be like, of course, this is during COVID. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're not talking about TikTok. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, Seth. Not about licking each other's buttholes. That was a good bit.
Dick Doc.
Ooh, nice. Penultimate one for you here. Rawson Marshall Thurber has said in interviews that he views this film as a love letter to Raiders of the Lost Ark, National Treasure, True Lies, Ocean's 11, and the two versions of the Thomas Crown Affair. A little love letter to them.
Yeah, I could see a lot of those influences for sure. Wore them on their sleeves. A $200 million love letter.
One of those which we've done already on here, National Treasure. Lucas, you've seen National Treasure. What's your take on it?
I think they stink. I think they're proto Marvel movies, which is my least favorite type of movie.
Now, since we're here with it right now, what do you think of it in compared to this film?
A little bit better, a little more original, a little more compelling lead performances, definitely.
I think it relies less on action and more on like detective work too, which I kind of liked. But yeah, I would agree. Better for sure.
Pure adventure movie.
Yeah. All right, and my last one, nominations. This was nominated for 97 awards.
Don't do them all.
I'm kidding. It was nominated for one award.
Okay.
The Georgia Film Critics Association, the GAFCA. And it was like this award name's the craziest thing at the GAF because it was nominated for the Oglethorpe Award for excellence in Georgia cinema.
Yeah, Oglethorpe, the founder of Georgia, of course.
Yeah, so they obviously have to make a movie award about him.
It's probably who spent the most money in Georgia to make a movie. Let's honor them and hope they come back.
Because that's what Oglethorpe would want.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Georgia was originally founded as a penal colony.
with penises?
No, like Australia. Like that's where we're going to send the prisoners. That was like its
really?
first intention. Yeah.
Not penal as in penalty, not penal as in penile, like penis.
Exactly. I think there's a different word for that.
That's a common mix-up. Penile.
Yeah, especially in the pharmacy. Oh, I paused it on accident. Pause my recording.
Especially the pharmacy. Oh! Did you
have to restart that?
Did you just pause it? Like,
I stopped it.
No, like where? Like, what's your timestamp?
47:45.
Oh, okay, so it is literally as you say. It wasn't like you paused it like 10 seconds ago and you're like,
no.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you said just like in pharmacy. All right, we can roll with that.
Yeah, we're pretty much ready to go start to the movie.
Okay. And Nicole Kidman.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you need to clap to sync though. Still.
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Play. Yes, just like in the pharmacy. We always mix that shit up.
It's getting in trouble.
I'm like, so this
Often.
So this medication is for your penile dysfunction. And no, it's for penal dysfunction. It's for prisoners. So with that, let's get into the movie.
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 In a movie.
In a movie.
See, what can Nicole Kidman be up to this week?
She's stealing Seth's heart.
Right out of his body?
Yeah, like this is the greatest heist of all time. He's
Temple of Doom. Remember they ripped his heart out?
No, I haven't seen all of the Indiana Jones.
It's like when I ripped Caesar's heart out, but for real.
Caesar hates that game. Just so you guys know, the ripping the heart out game is just Lucas just rearing back his arm and just grabbing the scruff on Caesar's side. He hates that game. That or the plane game, the rocket one.
Pew! He's afraid of that one. Louis doesn't mind that one.
No. Yeah, I think she's trying to steal Seth's heart, but not in a romantic way.
Yeah, and she succeeds, and that's why he's gone this week.
Because he's a walking corpse right now.
He's in Seattle getting a heart transplant.
Oh,
from a water buffalo.
He actually needs a heart, and this has been like a 20-year ploy, like since Seth was born. And she's trying to steal Keith Urban's heart this whole time to give to Seth.
Sure.
She's been getting so close to him over years.
So she's only in love with the heart of a man.
If there's any other
husband's heart.
If it's any other part, she eats it. She's crazy.
Always.
She's always, you're trying to like give somebody else. She's eating your toes and
eating the heart. Yeah.
All right. Well, Seth, we hope you get your heart. You're in the Seattle, the Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, the Grey's Anatomy ICU. Nicole Kidman will get Keith Urban's heart eventually and get it to you. I promise.
She's on her way.
On foot.
And then you're in trouble.
She's on foot. She's running from Australia, just like, I'm gonna get there, Seth. Obvious. She's like those lizards that can run on water.
Yeah, and her stride length is like 18 feet.
Her legs are so long.
Yeah.
When I went to the theater to watch Super Mario Bros. And Nicole Kidman came on, I was so hyped. I almost came home and did a Kidman corner. That
would have been good, yeah, our inaugural one. We haven't done that. Incoming.
A little thing that Lucas and I talked about, a Kidman corner, where if we ever see a movie in theaters, we come and we do like a 5-10 minute episode just about what we watch, just our takes on it.
And say what Kidman's up to.
Yeah.
Much like at the beginning of these.
She came on and I was like, holy shit, it's Nicole Kidman and Marina. I was like, she doesn't even say flesh. Nicole Kidman, yeah.
In the flesh.
Taking flesh from people. Parting the Pacific Ocean and running to Seth in the flesh.
It's her business.
Yeah. All right.
Pleasure.
this movie?
Yeah, we get the sort of fool's gold, like we said, opening, where we set up the heist. There's supposedly 3 of Cleopatra's eggs. One is at the museum that they visit right away. One is owned by an arms dealer, and the third no one has ever seen. It might not even exist.
And it's a narrator
Here we
talking
go.
about the romantic love story of Cleopatra and the Roman general lover Mark Antony. They killed themselves together because they would have had to answer too many questions about their rivalry love. And yeah, the whole mystery of the third egg. And so this whole narration was actually like a documentary on a screen as we see a faceless person attempting to 3D print the third egg and paint it and jewel it up.
Yeah, why were they playing a documentary while they did this? Just the background noise.
I need to touch up on my history if I'm going to get this right.
It just seems like it'd be good for the mood.
The moody. And then you get the title card. Yeah. Apparently he's a great, like, what would you even call it? A 3D printist. Like, doing great work there. He knows how to program the machine. He knows how to do all the painting and the woodwork and the jewels and everything. Makes it legit.
A pro.
And you get the title card plus a definition of what Red Notice means.
Yeah, because I didn't know either. It's a arrest warrant for the most wanted people in the world by Interpol.
Yeah. And you cut to Rome with the giant police pursuit up to a building. This is the museum.
Long tracking shot.
Very long. Where
it made
American...
Alex sick.
It made Alex sick?
Yeah.
Not as long as the tracking shot in the copper mine at the end, where it was all CGI though, where it went past the 6 cars all the way up to the Mercedes.
This one is a fucking drone shot, which I don't like in movies. And this was like whipping the drone around. Just whipping it.
I mean, if you have to use a drone shot because you can't do a helicopter shot, go for it.
I don't know. I disagree.
This had a $200 million budget. They could have done it better, is what I'm saying.
These all look like a fucking, High School Music video. Every drone shot does.
We get up to this museum where American FBI art crime agent John Hartley, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, is on the case with the Roman Interpol police to find Nolan Booth, the second most sought-after art thief in the world, who is supposedly stealing one of Cleopatra's eggs today.
He's the first at this point in the movie. The most notorious art thief.
Oh, he is, but then we find out he's not.
No, after he gets booked, he's not.
Oh.
That's what does it. Because he's not wanted anymore.
Oh. So, they're closing in on him. They're like, he's going to steal one of Cleopatra's eggs today that's in the museum. And they go in the museum. Yeah. Everyone sees the egg, which is clearly the 3D printed one. Everybody's like, see, it's here. The Rock is one step ahead as he gets a thermal detector and shines it on the eggs. He's like, did you know that gold gives off radioactive heat that reflects the human heat, so it should be showing up red and not blue on these detectors?
Yeah, he clearly learned his lines minutes before stepping on the set. I think. He's just not he's not natural, an actor. He sure as shit can't play like a competent detective. The Rock.
That's what he always plays, though, is some heroic savior detective kind of guy.
Yeah, he needs to just be punching things.
He'd be great in the movies as just punching things, but shines it on the egg. The egg doesn't reflect the radiation, so he knows it's fake. And so he grabs this kid's Coca-Cola, this obvious product placement, just pours it on the egg, and it disintegrates. I was like, a bold move there to pour Coke on this.
Would it ruin like gold?
Probably.
You think Coca-Cola would not ruin gold? You can pour Coke on a gold ring and it'd be fine.
Probably. You're probably right. But maybe it's not as pure.
It'd be a bad look anyways.
It really would be. But the egg does erode. And now everyone is chasing Nolan Booth, who is still in the room.
Yep.
He's trying to be undercover about it all.
He's trying to leak out, yeah.
And he's getting away. The Rock's right on his chase, but he's too big to fit through this tiny doorway, but is strong enough to pry it open.
Eventually, these sliding door things.
Yeah. And
there's kind of some cool set pieces in this big long chase scene.
Like the scaffolding stuff.
I like that.
Yeah,
Too,
Ryan.
It's too fucking cutesy still.
These cops keep trying to chase Ryan Reynolds up the scaffolding, and every time he looks over and there's just another red pin that he can pull, so they fall. It's like one after the other. It was never anything different. It was just another pin.
And like the Marvel movies, I think these characters are pretty self-aware with their plot armor, so they're never like, oh my god, we're gonna die or we're gonna get caught in danger. It's just like, fucking who whoopsie doos, you know.
People are firing guns at me. Let me pull this pin slowly and laugh.
Let me make a joke.
But John Hartley stays right on his tail most of the time. Ryan Reynolds continues to pull the pins all the way up. There was a nice Wilhelm scream in there. Did you catch that?
There's one later too.
And Nolan makes it all the way up the scaffolding to the next level, the next floor of the museum. But John meets him up there, has him at gunpoint, trying to arrest him.
Then his teammate cop, lady cop, comes in.
Doss, is
that her name?
Yeah.
Dumb.
Agent Doss.
She shows up, distracts The Rock, knocks his gun away, does Ryan Reynolds, jumps out the window, correct?
Yeah, well, in classic Ryan Reynolds fashion, too, he's just stalling, making jokes the whole time.
Yeah, which I just hate it. Fuck him. Fuck his jokes. Fuck his dialogue.
He didn't jump out the window. The Rock tackled him through a museum-stained glass window.
Okay, I think I like that set piece, yeah.
You love anything with stained glass.
I like some stained glass. I like some color.
You like the Great Wall with all the stained glass in there?
That was really good.
You liked the church from Santa with Muscles with all the stained glass?
That was nice, yeah.
Yeah. You just like a good stained glass set piece.
It's good aesthetic.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, he tackles him through this like a linebacker. I was like, Jesus. And now you're about to get this badass car chase scene with the Porsche, but he's on a moped to the Beastie Boys.
I laughed right before this, too. Maybe my only laugh of the whole movie, because Ryan Reynolds jumps down and lands on a vendor's tent and bounces off, and The Rock jumps down and
just falls through.
It, breaks it all. That was maybe
too heavy. He's too heavy.
Too big.
But yeah, so you're about to get this big chase scene to the Beastie Boys. And then he gets hit by a fucking Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah.
Or no, it was a van. The Volkswagen van.
Yep.
But more product placements too. And Nolan got away. He's away. And it's Bali.
End of Act 1. Yeah.
56 hours later. And what we already mentioned, the poor CGI'd island beach house shots as he walks up the beach. He cruises up to his hideout inside his home, and in there waiting for Nolan is Agent Hartley with the Interpol having him surrounded.
Again, no sort of drama or tension at all. He's just like, hey, the mail's home and it's me. I gotcha. Type of bullshit, you know?
As he pours his own gin too, yeah.
Yeah, his own tequila hit.
No, that's The Rock has tequila.
Yeah, they both pour their own.
Oh. But yeah, he's making jokes about the painting, like it's from Etsy, and where'd you get all these friends? And anyway, he's held at gunpoint, and John ends up telling Nolan about all his motives. Apparently he did his history on Nolan Booth, because his motives, his actions, his history of stealing, all that. Mostly, he says it's all about the thrill of stealing and his motivation to do something that makes him feel worthy of his own father's love.
Yeah, I barfed at that point. It's just slid on so thick. No discovery. They don't want the audience to ever discover it. They just tell him outright, yeah, this is because of his dad. There you go. We don't want you to know. Don't need a flashback. Here you go. Don't lift too hard.
They could have used a good flashback there.
I wouldn't think so.
But, so they do all that, and supposedly John knew where Nolan would be because of the Bishop, who is actually the most wanted art thief in the world that he has been working with. He's working with a criminal to catch a criminal in the act.
Yep. They have a mole. And yeah, now she's the most wanted because he got caught.
And as he gets arrested, they take the egg from him and whatnot because he was holding on to one of Cleopatra's real eggs. And as everyone's leaving, one mysterious masked police person steals Cleopatra's egg from the armored truck and replaces it with another fake.
Yeah, and then like hides under the car like a spider.
Takes off her mask. It's Gal Gadot. It's the
It's
Bishop.
Her. It's her. It's Wonder Woman.
So he had worked with the Bishop to catch him, but then she crossed Agent Hartley to get the egg back. She was there the whole time.
She did. She the whole time. The whole time.
The whole time. So back in Rome, Agent Hartley's getting ready to board a plane, and Doss, the head Interpol lady, we keep seeing talking with him, and holding Cleopatra's egg. It's in his bag. But she drops it and smashing it, showing that it's a fake. She's like, "What are you doing? You're in on this." And he's like, "No, I'm an agent." And she's like,
yeah.
She's like, "I did a background check on you." And she's like,
you're
"How did
guilty.
no one know you at the bureau?"
Yeah.
He also
I swear I'm innocent.
He also had
Someone wipe
$8
my
million
file.
wired to a Swiss bank account for him, and now he's trying to flee the country. That's suspicious.
He didn't even get the real egg the whole time. Yeah, he's being set up. He says. She doesn't believe him.
Well, yeah, because why would he leave with a fake egg?
He didn't know.
Then he's a secret agent.
He's fucked. Is the thing.
Yeah. So he's going to prison. And he's in a Russian prison, and he enters his cell to see that his cellmate is Nolan Booth.
Yeah, of course he is, because they wouldn't separate those two at all.
The man that he just arrested. Could you imagine if like a cop just here in America arrested somebody for a crime, and then he ends up in the jail cell with the guy he arrested? He would be murdered.
Well, and it wouldn't happen either, because if a cop is arrested for being a dirty cop, like Dwayne Johnson is, then all of his prior arrests would come under question, and they would have to be released because they're like, were all of his arrests dirty? You know, you can't trust any of this guy's arrest records anymore, so they'd have to release Nolan. But then there's the rest of this plot is set up because Nolan says, "Yeah, I'm looking for all 3 of the eggs. That's what I'm doing." You get all 3 together before this Egyptian terrorist billionaire guy's daughter gets married. He'll give you how much money? Hundreds of millions or something?
300 million.
Yeah, 300 million. So it's this big art scavenger hunt for the world's criminals.
He's like, we know where one is. It was in the museum. We got to get it from the bishop. The second one is with this arms dealer
in Spain.
And I know where the third is. He just says he knows where the third is.
I think he says he doesn't exist at this point. But he says we'll figure that part out along the way.
But yeah, Nolan gives him the scoop how the bishop was able to take out her lead investigator now in Agent Hartley, and her biggest competition in one heist. And now she can collect all the eggs for herself and give them to that billionaire for a wedding present and for the giant cash prize. So they're fucked. So they need to get out of here.
They got to work together.
So they're going to work together. And they got to get out of the prison first. So Nolan is in prison trying to tell him a plan. When he starts screaming out, he's like, "Wouldn't it be bad if people knew you were a cop?" And he's like, "This guy is not a cop. He's an agent, FBI agent in America." Because it comes up later. We'll get there.
Well, I don't remember. Why did he do this at all?
It was a distraction.
Diversion?
It was a diversion to get the security guard key, like the card off the guy.
I see. Okay.
He did that all to get a fight to break out into the cafeteria because this one guy, after he yells at, named Drago, it's like classic.
He knows kung fu.
Comes up to him, starts harassing him, just throwing food on his lap. Then he beats up the Rock.
Yeah, tough ask, you would think.
They get pulled out of the hall. Yeah, it would be, honestly. But they get pulled out of the hall. You don't know that he took the card, but now you listeners do, because Lucas couldn't remember. But they get pulled out of the hall, and they're in their cell when they're like, the captain wants to talk to you. So they go to talk to the captain. It's the fucking bishop.
Yeah, what the fuck is this shit? She has an office in the prison?
How is she the captain of the Russian prison?
I don't know. And why? And she can just like call in meetings with other prisoners. Who
While
knows?
she's out doing all of her escapades, who's running the prison?
It's ridiculous. It's plot, whatever. She's Bishop. They realize, yeah.
Some of these plot holes I was fine with. This one I was like, what in the world? She is the captain of the prison?
Of course she is. Of course she is. She's also the warden. She's also probably the fucking senator that's charging him at the trial.
She is.
You know, that's what this movie does without really thinking too much about it. They go to trial. They realize the judge is Gal Gadot all along. They're like, how? I'm the judge. You get to prison. He's the guard. What?
She's the judge, but actually Ryan Reynolds was the bailiff, and The Rock, the secret agent, is the jury member. And you're like, wait, what? Who's on trial?
This is a great movie, guys.
But so yeah, they go to visit the bishop, and she basically tells them how she framed Agent Hartley. She's like, I was listening on everything. I was the one that was able to wire the money to your account. I was the one that they called from the FBI bureau. Like, I don't know how they got her number when she looked it up, but
yeah.
So she set it all up, and she knows that Nolan knows where the next egg is and how they can help her get there. They'll get a small share from her, 10%.
He tells her to go to hell.
So now it's 5%.
Yeah, and he's like pretty committed to never working with her.
Yeah.
So they're still stuck in prison. She leaves. They got to devise a way to get out.
And as they're trying to devise a way to get out, they're like,
about his dad.
Yeah, well,
the rocks.
Before that, they're like lifting rocks and doing stuff. They're knocking off rocks from the wall, and they're just doing stuff. My mom laughed because she was over with my dad. My dad was helping like spackle some holes in the wall because we're getting ready to paint the nursery and stuff. Mm-hmm. But she was watching it with me. She laughed at every single Ryan Reynolds joke.
God.
And she looked over at me. She's like, "Why are you not laughing?" I was like,
"Because it's Red Notice, Mom."
They're not there were a couple that I did laugh at. I chuckled, but like every one of them, I was like, "No."
I hate Ryan Reynolds.
But so yeah, you get a sad sap story about how Nolan was accused of stealing his dad's watch when he was little, and he didn't, and how his dad didn't speak to him for a whole year. And he never apologized for framing him about the whole thing. So then he never talked back, and then he had to go to boarding school. Then he became a criminal.
Yeah, all in dialogue. Another flashback would be nice.
Yeah. But The Rock has daddy issues too.
Yeah, exactly.
But he doesn't want to talk about them.
Yeah, we learn that later, I guess.
Well, Ryan Reynolds tells him that his dad was a cop the whole time, which made him want to become a criminal because he didn't want to hurt people like his dad did. Yeah. And so, but yeah, they both have daddy issues. So now it's escape from prison time, where this is one part that I actually like because it came into pharmacy stuff. They make nitroglycerin.
Mm-hmm.
They're like,
for explosions.
They talk about the soap the whole time, how it's pure glycerin, and they put it into a nitric acid cleaning solution, which makes nitroglycerin. But nitroglycerin is normally used as a heart attack medication, Lucas.
Wow.
Little tablets. No, you don't blow people up. What nitroglycerin does when you take it in the small doses like that, you put it under your tongue and it dissolves, is it expands all of your blood vessels so much so that if you have this crushing heart attack pain from your blood vessels being clogged, basically, and your heart not getting enough oxygen, it expands them. Yeah, basically, so that your heart is getting oxygen to it, and you can get to the hospital in time.
Okay.
Nitroglycerin, fun fact. That's for you, Kelly.
It exploded this little prison washroom.
Yeah, because apparently there was a shit ton of glycerin and nitric acid there. So it makes a quick little bomb.
Rock's wearing a little prison hat, too.
Yeah, he was the whole time.
This looks cute.
A little ship captain's hat.
Yeah. And they beat the fuck out of law enforcement.
They become a real team because they're so in sync with their fighting now.
Some kung fu type shit now, yeah.
But you also learn that all of Nolan Booth's hijinks along the way, where he was, 1, yelling in the dining hall, and 2, accidentally knocking a rock off the wall, were planned to, 1, get the security card from the guard, and 2, to loosen the wall to break it down for their future escape. He's been plotting
Correct.
these things. He's been breaking out of prisons all his life.
He plans ahead. They have negative chemistry is also my note here. They just it's like quick quip and then The Rock's like grumble grumble, you know. There's just no back and forth. There's
like
even
like
Ryan Reynolds, I think,
when
who I
they're
normally despise, he's like, fucking give me something, guy.
when they're outside and he like leaves him at the door and he's like, "Where the fuck are you?"
Exactly. Precise.
But so they're scaling this prison wall like along the edge because it's by a cliff, this icy wall, and they're sneaking up to this suspension bridge where this prison guard is just too distracted to see them escaping as he looks at shirtless pictures of Putin riding a horse.
Yeah, he's liking them all too.
Every Instagram post of Putin's like it's like, what? Did you
That's
need
Russia.
this?
There's just no brains in this movie, Brandon. Not even a smidge of brains.
This is just liking for shirtless Putin.
Dumb.
Like, apparently everybody in Russia loves Putin so much and has to like his Instagram.
Part of my note here is like instead of being subtle because they're like escaping from prison, The Rock just like says a one-liner and then headbutts the fuck out of them. And then like everyone sees him at that point, so there's a huge gunfight. Like you want to like sneak around a little, like choke him out maybe.
Yeah, you could hear a headbutt from a mile away, apparently, if it's The Rock.
Time's up. Bang!
And so Nolan is trying to get a helicopter for them to escape because there's a helicopter past the bridge. Uses a dope snowball move where he throws a snowball in the face of the pilot to knock him out.
Yeah, very inventive.
When was the last time you were knocked unconscious by a snowball?
Never.
Oh,
in my life.
Interesting. So it just happened here this one time.
Mm-hmm.
Conveniently.
Correct.
Oh, okay. And John is in the biggest like one-sided gunfight possible because he had a little assault rifle, but it ran out of bullets. So now he's got just this little pistol firing at people with guns and bazookas and shit. And
yeah, I was tuned out a little bit for this when they started doing the gunshots and shit.
But they get the helicopter started up. He's getting ready to go. So The Rock starts running across the bridge at him. And this one guard that has the bazooka, instead of shooting the helicopter, which would ultimately stop The Rock from running that way, decides to try and shoot The Rock instead with a full missile.
Yeah.
So it hits the drawbridge or the suspension bridge right behind him. It explodes. He's hanging from the cliff trying to climb up it as Ryan Reynolds boards up the helicopter, turns it around, fires the Gatling gun at all the guards, and starts to just take off without The Rock.
Gonna strand him there.
And so
The Rock's too big and can jump too high, though, Brandon.
This is your classic helicopter leap scene. This happened in San Andreas too with The Rock.
Yeah, this is some diehard shit. He loves it. Alex said that too. She's like, I've seen this a couple times before.
Yeah, it always happens. You're always
Mr.
jumping.
Rock.
This has happened twice in Transformers films, I'm pretty sure.
So high.
And so he gets up the bridge, jumps, holds on to the helicopter for dear life, gets in, and then the dude with the bazooka is like, oh, I should probably shoot the helicopter this time. Back-to-back movies with a bazooka helicopter scene?
Done much better in the previous one.
Oh, see, I liked this one. I mean, I liked
this next move.
I liked Ishtar's too. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved Ishtar's where it like went by and they swerved. But this one, although CGI and kind of corny, was pretty fucking badass.
I don't know. I didn't like it. How Brandon's talking about here, he fires the rocket at the helicopter. It's dead on. He's like, oh shit. So I think Ryan Reynolds, right? Or is it The Rock?
It's The Rock.
The Rock, of course it is. Just merely opens the door and lets it pass through Olays through the door, and the rocket keeps flying.
Yeah, because it's right to the side of the helicopter's broadside. He opens both the doors. He did swing to the outside, like holding on to the outside of the helicopter as it went through both doors and out the other side into a mountain.
Pretty dumb. Yeah, and then
kind of badass.
Another shot. Kind of badass, kind of dumb. The RPG's guy's like, darn. There they go.
I wish I wouldn't have used my other missile trying to shoot the human. Like if he hit The Rock with a goddamn bazooka missile, like The Rock would be nothing. Off. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It would have bounced off him. Yeah. But so
Now is it
Back-to-back
Valencia?
missile scenes. London.
Okay.
The bishop was talking to like a data analyst that she had
Yeah, it's
tied
just
up.
tied up for some reason.
She was using his computer. That's why she tied him up to send encrypted messages to Agent Doss. That John and Nolan escaped.
Yeah, because no one could like phone them besides her,
Yeah.
or any news about this got out. Yeah,
I also don't know how the bishop knew they got out, but she assumed they did, so she sent the
she was
message.
the captain.
Oh, of course. That I guess that makes sense. But they also sent it. She sends it with a little like 8-bit signature tag, which is like a bishop piece in chess.
Mm-hmm. One of the themes, yeah,
Chess is a big part of this movie,
kind of
and
thematically. A
the
theme of
guy,
chess.
the guy that was like tied up pushed this little security button with his foot underneath his desk that's like hidden under carpet so that she wouldn't know. And as she's getting ready to leave, this cop breaks into the door. She trips this man as he walks in. That man died.
He did. He
He
did. Yeah.
did.
I thought this was a little funny because the guy just clearly wanted to make out with Gal Gadot the whole time too.
He
He's
did.
He's waiting
He
for it.
did.
He did.
But yeah, she trips this guard that comes in with this gun. He smashes his face against his like marble table in the room, just like right on his temple.
Bleeding.
Immediately died. Yeah, bleeding out. She's like, "I'm sorry, I had to do this in your office."
We're out of here.
But yeah, so she kills that guy out of there, and John and Nolan end up meeting with Tomboy, some pilot acquaintance of Nolan's.
I don't remember this.
The one black guy that was like worked with Nolan,
Oh,
that
for
was
like
the
2
pilot.
seconds.
Yeah,
he
Tomboy.
broke him out.
So they're in a plane. They're trying to figure out how to get to the masquerade party by the arms dealer. And you get a good high C product placement too in the plane.
You should see some high C. He just throws it on the ground.
Yeah, because Tomboy's like, you don't get juice boxes. And then it's Ryan Reynolds drinking a high C juice box. But
Yep.
Nolan
How
is
do
telling.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Nolan tells John his whole plan for stealing the billionaire's egg that he already has. There's a bunch of security that they'll need to get by, including voice and facial recognition, armed guards, titanium vault doors, and like self-changing passcodes that are only accessed via
Yeah, some
Sotovoce's phone.
Ocean's 11 shit. But apparently, it's totally easy to just walk into this arms dealer's residence for his big party, anyways.
How'd they get invitations to this party? That was
And how'd
never
they
covered.
walk in through the door?
Well, Ryan Reynolds was a servant.
Okay, so he theoretically, yeah, how'd the Rock get in? Just by being big?
I guess intimidation.
I guess.
But it gives them this whole thing. They're in Valencia. Yeah, this is at the masquerade party. They're both there to steal the egg, but they catch out of the corner of their eye the bishop's there too.
Theoretically to steal the egg as well.
Yeah. And now you get your classic John and the bishop tango dance scene. So that he doesn't let her out of his sight.
And there's lots of like flirting and sexual innuendos. It's just he's not a being of attraction, The Rock is.
People love The Rock.
They don't love him in that fashion. They're not like, oh my god, what a hunk.
I'm pretty sure he's one sexiest man alive.
He's one like sexiest rock alive.
Sexiest geode alive.
Yeah, he's not a sex symbol. The Rock.
I'm pretty sure he's won it, and Ryan Reynolds. I know Ryan Reynolds has won it.
I think they both have. Ryan Reynolds, I can see. The Rock is too big again.
He's just not your type, you know.
He's not. Well, he's not a suave guy either.
You like a slimmer man.
I guess I like some personality in a man,
which Ryan Reynolds has.
Bad one.
Who's your sexiest man alive? Is it Ashton Kutcher?
Give me like a distinguished Clooney, probably still. Yeah.
I always loved Ryan Gosling.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, now you hear it, guys. Those are our
Tank
sexiest
Davis.
man alives. Oh my God! Anybody watch the fight last night? Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis. I caught it on TikTok live.
Nice. No, I got it on crack streams. Good fight.
I caught it in the 4th round, saw it ended in the 7th. And I saw that body shot too, because it was like nobody really saw it happen. It was so quick, but I saw it happen. I was like, oh, good body
You
shot.
saw it, yeah.
And then like 5 seconds later he dropped. I was like, oh,
His liver shut down. Peeing
oh
red.
my god, good liver shot. He was on red notice, his liver was.
He was. Red
But
notice.
so after this tango dance scene, because he's not gonna let her out of his sight,
He lets her out of her
Sota
sight.
Voce storms in to dance with the bishop. He's like, I got to dance with the sexiest woman at my party.
Yeah, he thought he was being caught. The Rock did.
Yeah.
He's getting his lady taken.
And what he does is he sets his cup with his drink down on Nolan's tray as a server. So now they've got a fingerprint there. And
Sure.
as he comes to steal his girl, John bumps into him when trading dance partners. And when he does, gets his phone out of his pocket for the passcode.
Pickpockets him. And then Sota Voce gives this big long speech when our main dudes sneak out to go make the theft.
But Agent Doss is here too. How did she get in the party?
I don't know. Yeah, an art thief at this. Yeah, sure, why not? More the merrier.
No, she's the police.
That's what I mean. Like the police, you're just letting her into this big art thief party.
Oh yeah.
Big arms dealer party.
Oh yeah, that's right. I love that scene where he was like, my dad said if you're not a good hunter, you don't do it in one shot, and he fucking shot his chandelier and it set it on fire.
That was a cool shot. I liked that.
I liked that.
Cool
but
set piece.
So yeah, after he storms into dance, they've got the phone. They've got with the passcode. They're gonna have the fingerprints. Nolan spills a drink on John because they bump into each other. And so they go together to walk through the halls to find a washroom. They gather their materials, get ready, and they set a timer for 45 seconds. I don't know why they needed 45 seconds.
That was 45 seconds it takes them to change their guards, I think.
Oh.
So when they change, it takes 45 seconds for them to get to their posts, and they sneak in at like 9 seconds or whatever.
So they got to get into the vault in that time. They pass the guards into the safe room. They got into the vault. They also had like this facial recognition.
A deep fake on an iPad.
Yeah. And so they were able to get everything to get into the vault door, even though they did break the glass with the fingerprints in the room because they ran into each other.
Yeah.
But right as they're about to get into the vault, guards start noticing the sensors on the vault are open, and Agent Doss storms in on them to stop them.
Yep. Big like confrontation. Like, are you really guilty? Are you really innocent? And The Rock.
If you're an agent, you will arrest him right now.
Yeah, which he does. It appears.
He does.
Then he doesn't.
He pretends to snap the handcuffs onto Nolan. You hear the click. He very precociously stands in front of Nolan so you can't see it. And then slaps the gun out of her hand. They break into the vault room. And they're safe in there with the egg.
Except there's Gal Gadot. She's also there.
She's already there. Somehow she's like, oh, there's another way. You just don't know how. So they're in there. And as John tries to arrest her, we now have a giant red-lighted vault room fighting scene with ancient artifact weapons between 3 former superhero characters.
Yeah. It's lame. It's just lame.
The whole joke of it, too, was that Gal Gadot is this super great spy, and she's got all these training and fighting skills. The Rock is huge. He's going to be good anyway. But Ryan Reynolds cannot catch a break in these fights to save his life. He's the butt of the joke.
He's a coward, yeah.
Wouldn't it have been so much funnier if instead of Ryan Reynolds, it was Jay Baruchel or Michael Cera the whole time?
It would have.
As this person? Because then him trying to break the glass with his elbow would have been believable. Michael Cera tries to break it.
Been Ryan Reynolds. More importantly.
That's all that matters?
Correct.
What do you think, Seth?
I think I nominated him as worst actor.
You did.
I did.
But not The Rock.
Yeah, I mean, I don't actively hate The Rock. He's just there.
You didn't nominate Gal Gadot either.
Yeah, she wasn't that bad.
I thought she was decent, yeah. But, so now we get this big fight scene. John and Nolan both get beat up by the Bishop when Sota Voce comes in and reveals our second twist. He's been working with the Bishop the whole time. They're together.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Why
And
not?
so our two guys get knocked out and wake up in a Coliseum cellar.
Yeah, below a bullfight.
And they begin
for drama's sake.
They begin to do shock torture on John.
My note is they shocked The Rock and his pebbles.
Nice. My note was they begin shock torture on John on his nipples, cock, and balls.
Yep.
All to get Nolan to tell them where the third egg is, because he's the only one that supposedly knows. And then after the shock therapy to his cock and balls doesn't work from Gal Gadot, Sotto Voce's like, let me do it the old way. And what he fucking does is he takes off, bless you, he takes off his shirt for some reason to choke him out.
This is even funnier because he gets his strangling glove on. He puts on a specific glove he loves to use for strangling.
Why did he take off his shirt?
It's just his thing. This Canadian actor putting on this Spanish accent. Because there's like an offhanded remark that he loves strangling earlier.
All right.
His dad strangled him when he was young, and he liked it now.
He's choking out John, and Nolan breaks eventually, telling him the eggs are in the Great Pyramids, in the secret tomb of Cleopatra. They never left.
Third egg's in Egypt. And then my next note is third egg isn't in Egypt.
His mom was an Egyptologist.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest line.
Correct. I think it's the correct nomenclature, but it's a dumb one.
My other thing was he could read hieroglyphs before English.
Yeah, it's a good little joke.
He knows every hieroglyph, but as the bishop and Sotto Voce celebrate that they found the third egg, the bishop drugged him in his champagne and is sneaking off out all by herself with the info and eggs.
And her eggs.
She's got two of them. And Sotto Voce is like
double crosser.
So that's a triple cross now.
Yep.
3 crosses. So Voce wakes up in a drugged stupor and just finds this revolver and just starts firing it. He can't really see them straight, but
he's trying to hit the other guys. It apparently hits the handcuff because the Rock is able to get loose and smack him.
He's always been loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
But yeah, he shoots their cuffs.
A lot of punches.
John's able to break free. He knocks out Voce, and John's about to leave when Nolan tells him that he's been lying the whole time about the whereabouts of the egg. John doesn't care, just wants to find and arrest the bishop to clear his name. He's been framed this whole time, wants to get back to the life of an FBI agent.
Mm-hmm.
And so Nolan talks him into it. Yeah, letting him go. The only way to find the bishop is to beat her to the actual site of the egg, because she'll eventually be there. They just have to be there waiting for her. Yeah, that's actually decent logic.
I mean, but wouldn't she be in Egypt too, though?
Yeah, probably.
It turns out she's fallen. I don't know. It's who cares? It's all plot, right?
It is plot. And he's like, all right, fine. So they start running from Voce with an assault rifle and end up in the bullfighting coliseum.
Yeah, doesn't look CGI. It does look CGI'd. It all looks CGI'd. The bull does. The people do. It looks bad here.
The bull hits the rock, and it really looks CGI when he hits the rock.
Yeah, that's like a full blown. That's a big old bull, and Rock just like shakes it off.
He rolls a little bit. He rolls to the ground.
He gets hit, but then he's like not injured. He's not like his organs aren't damaged.
Which they would be. That is a charging bull.
Yeah, he's like, I'm fine. I'm the Rock.
A raging bull.
And they leave. Good one. They leave the Coliseum just like they just let them leave, and then they become hobos.
Yeah, they're stowaways on a train.
Fucking dumb. And it's also CGI. They're riding the CGI rails.
And
some more father talk.
Yeah, John is like hanging Nolan out the train car. He's like, kill me if you want, because there's another train coming. And he ends up pulling him in. He's like, see, you're not a killer. Now tell me about your daddy.
Yeah, they have it out about the dad.
And part of it was like,
does the heart-to-heart convince Ryan Reynolds' character to tell him where it really is in?
Yeah, John spills his guts out about his dad, Con Man, His dad was a con man. So that's why he became a cop, because he didn't want to
Sure.
follow in his footsteps. So The Rock's dad was a con man and he became a secret agent to not follow in the footsteps. But Ryan Reynolds' dad was a cop, so he became a con man to not follow into their steps, because they both had daddy issues.
I hate to invoke you with a self quote, but when they said that my dad was a cop, so I'm a con man. Your dad was a con man, so you're a cop. I was like, my dad was toast, so I became a toaster. It's just so dumb.
I'm so happy you invoked me.
I did with the self quote.
That's what it feels like to be invoked by Lucas. Check off
You're
my
honored.
bucket list. Yeah. But yeah, so they have this whole thing and they realize that now they have each other's trust. And so we get a history lesson from Nolan about Nazi Germany and Hitler's art dealer, Rudolf Zeich, who shipped a bunch of machine parts to Argentina from Germany. So this is clearly where actually all of the hidden art and artifacts are actually at.
Yeah.
Is in Argentina.
Which is a common Nazi trope. I think based in reality. After the war was over, a lot of war criminals went over to Argentina.
I mean, that's where Hitler supposedly was.
Yeah, there's whole villages over there that only speak German, and you're like, it's a little weird, you guys, a little weird. But this is also the Jones thing, where the Nazis had the art, the valuable stuff.
Yeah, and well, apparently Nolan's cop father was a storage war bidder who loved to bid on Nazi treasures. Yeah. One of which was the watch that Nolan was accused of stealing. This was like a Nazi watch from Rudolf Zeich. And one day, as he was older, he found the watch, threw it, and broke it. And inside the watch, on the inside of like the seal, was Zeich's name, a date, and numbers, which seemed to be latitudinal and longitudinal coordinates to the third egg in Argentina.
Exactly where it is, which is also dumb because that's not how latitude and longitude works, where it's like to the foot. He's like, nope, this is exactly where my watch says it should be, this exact foot where it is.
Because you have to do latitude and longitude and then minutes, seconds, because there are minutes and seconds in directions as well.
It's dumb. But they do. But they set off for Argentina.
And they're hiking through this non-CGI jungle when they're supposedly at the X on the spot on the map. But maybe Nolan can't read maps, though, and they're way off. He's like, oh, maybe it was upside down, and my compass is bad, and...
Yeah.
John freaks out, kind of like he should, and he throws the compass on the ground when they hear a clang. The bunker?
It seems like it, because there's a Nazi insignia on it.
Just underneath the surface. So they open it up down a spiral staircase, and inside they find a vault door that apparently can only be opened with that watch that he broke.
I know, and he has it back because he got it repaired. I kind of like that. He's a complicated guy, his relationship with his dad. But it was stupid how he's like, oh, hell yeah, I have it right here. Oh, my God. The one guy has it in his possession. I don't know. Kind of dumb.
You wouldn't it have been funny if he was like, fuck. And I had to go back to the U.S. They have to go back to the U.S., get the watch, then come all the way back to Argentina. Gal Gadot's been waiting for them the whole time because she can't get in without the watch anyway.
Passed. Yeah.
The wedding is passed. Yeah, that would have been hilarious. But he has the watch. They open the vault door, and this bunker is full to the brim with ancient artifacts and relics. It is... There's the one little...
the cool Mercedes-Benz.
Indiana Jones one on there.
Drive.
And of course, they find the egg. Nolan picks it up and drops it on the ground. Says 5-second rule. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. And did your mom laugh at that part?
She was gone by this point.
Okay.
But the bishop comes in to steal the egg and end their fun. She's been right behind him. She's like, I knew the Egypt thing was a lie. Has them at gunpoint. Yeah. Agent Dawson and company is there to arrest them. Start opening fire.
Big old gunfight.
The Rock, being an agent, opens fire back at them.
At the cops. He's killed he's attacked a lot of enforcement so far. They, of course, jump in the 1930s Mercedes.
And they drive...
Cool car.
It's a super cool car. It's really cool. And they start to drive through the copper mine tunnels. That apparently is how they got the car in there and a lot of stuff with the authorities hot on their tails.
And it's like a car chase. They shoot each other the whole way through this mine shaft. You can't see any of
Tight
it.
quarters. Yeah, very dark, very tight
I would have loved to
quarters.
see the fucking climax ending of this movie. It was
But
just all it's too up its own ass. They're like, we're gonna be stylish, we're gonna make it dark and shadowy and light it really cool, and you just fucking can't see anything.
you were able to see a little bit, mostly that Ryan Reynolds and The Rock end up beating up guard after guard and
Do they?
escape.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
catch an egg the egg in the air at one point.
Yeah, only Doss is following him, but Doss and the bishop are holding the like satchel that has the egg in it.
I remember
It
that.
rips, it comes into the air. Ryan Reynolds jumps, catches the egg, and now they're all together driving off with Doss just following behind when they come to the edge of a waterfall.
They can't stop and let Doss shoot him.
Nope. So they drive over the edge in this $25 million Mercedes and Cleopatra's third egg.
Damn.
Fall into the water, and they end in the water. Someone grabs the egg, and it's Nolan. He resurfaces holding the egg.
Survives, apparently.
Yeah, only one. And he comes to the shore, starts looking around for John, doesn't care a shit about the bishop, but it looks around, starts yelling his name, and then sets the egg down.
Yeah, makes a decision to go back in and save his friend. Did you cry?
I did not cry. But lo and behold, John's actually already on land. He surfaced minutes ago.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck are you doing?
This all ruined the movie for me too, if it wasn't ruined already, because this is like the serious moment. They have the heart to heart, like we're actually buddies, and then instead they just keep undercutting each other. They're just like, I'm no homo type shit. It's just the worst. It undercuts the serious climax of the movie. The emotional heart of it is burnt.
I do agree there. Like I'm fine with a lot of Ryan Reynolds quips and jokes and whatnot, but like this moment where it's like he set down the egg, he put aside all of his aforementioned goals and whatnot, and his whole lifestyle to go back and save a friend that they've gone through the whole time, and now to pick it up, and yeah, it was bad, but the bishop then turns up on the beach too, and John goes to arrest her. And I looked at it, I was like, this is going to be a cross, because it wasn't looking like he was cuffing her. It looked like almost like what he did with Nolan in front of Doss. But instead of cuffing her, they just fucking make out.
They do make out. Big long twist.
My note, big double cross. This is our fifth cross.
They did. We saw it coming. I
didn't know that they were going to be a couple.
Of course, that's why they were awkwardly badly flirting in retrospect, yeah.
In retrospect, I thought that they might still be working together, but I didn't think they were a couple.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take.
I shouldn't have been.
But you get a bunch of flashbacks now with this info now, like you said, retrospectively. When they were dancing together, when they were fighting, all these like little one-liners that The Rock has said. Also a lot of chess-related puns in here.
Yeah.
There are two bishops on the chessboard.
Two of everything except for the queen and the king, yeah.
And they cuff Nolan to a tree, sneak off to this Egyptian billionaire's wedding with all the eggs. Like, but oh damn, they got Ed Sheeran as the musician.
Ruined it as well. And Ed Sheeran's like overacting.
He goes huge in this scene.
They gave him some meat to chew on.
He's in the movie for 45 seconds. He gave it his all.
Too long.
But he's performing. My favorite part was that Cleopatra, who is this Egyptian billionaire's daughter that's getting married.
Yeah.
He was like, look at these eggs that nobody's ever seen that I've presented to you as a gift. He's like, and also Ed Sheeran.
And she's like, oh my god.
Oh, Ed Sheeran runs over to him and doesn't care a shit about the eggs.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
That was hilarious. But
then they all get arrested, every single one of them.
Yep. Doss and the Interpol crash the wedding, arrest the father and Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
As
they should.
He assaulted an officer. No.
His music. Agent Joe.
You love Shiver.
I do love Shivers. I don't like a single other one about Sheeran songs.
What about 18?
And Galway Girl, I like. 18
What about
I don't.
18? What about Thinking Out Loud?
Thinking out loud, I don't.
What about Photograph?
No.
What about Take It Back Now?
Don't know that one.
Mm-hmm. Come on and take it back, love.
Don't know it.
Come
Don't like
on
it.
and take it back for us.
Doesn't sound like me.
What about Shape of You?
Don't like that one.
What about Castle on the Hill?
That one's my least favorite.
What about
That
Lego World?
I don't know that one. Castle on the Hill is funny because he's like, we all come from the shitty part. My friend, he's addicted to drugs. This one sells clothes. I laugh at that line.
Yeah, he's like,
I love all my fucking shitty loser friends.
My one friend left to go sell clothes. My other one, his dad just overdosed.
He overdosed, and he's like the same. Yeah, like,
they are one of the same people.
And it's just a whole song. He's like, yeah, they fucking suck. Don't worry, I love them. And they're like, the hell, man.
Lego House, that's what that one's called.
Yeah, I don't like it.
This is our Ed Sheeran podcast where we talk about Ed Sheeran songs.
We're almost done.
We are, but so John and the Bishop get out of there, and now you're in Sardinia. John and the Bishop are living the lavish life on a boat, but Nolan has been there the whole time. Heard them making love the night before, and he reveals his whole double cross plan, which is our 6th cross, where it was he was arrested by DOS, escaped the arrest, and got all of their secure accounts on those Swiss bank accounts with the $300 million from the billionaire frozen. Mm-hmm. So now to make it all up, all 3 of them are going to work together for the next big score. And as they propose that, they're like, all right, we need something. We need our next big hit. So Doss and the officials storm the boat, but they are nowhere on the boat anymore. And she goes back to their office and stamps their files with the red notice seal. They are most wanted.
There's the title, yeah.
And you see the 3 of them at the Louvre.
That's probably the next one.
They all split ways, probably stealing the Mona Lisa, right?
I would guess.
And that is the end of Red Notice. Hell yeah, brother.
We made it.
What did you think? What do you think about the movie, Seth? Oh!
That's a period joke he did.
He was like, Red Notice, more about Bled Notice. And then he made I was going to say he made a vampire noise.
Yeah.
Seth's going to listen to this back in like 4 months when he finally gets to this point. He's going to be like, what the fuck were they doing in 4 more years? So that is the end of Red Notice. Do you think we can get quotes done? Or should we pause?
We can get it all done, I think, because I had to redo my whole thing. But let's take a 5-second break anyways.
Like, you know what? Let's do it.
For the movie's sake.
Movie.
Yeah, good one.
That goes back. You did that. You started that on Napoleon Dynamite.
The movie.
Yeah. I remember listening to that because that was when we started that episode on YouTube. You'll hear us go, let's do a vocal warm up where we all say something, and then when we were getting into the movie, you did that. And you're like,
that was a warm up. Good one.
Movie. I don't know why the fuck I'm doing this. And we were like, yeah, why are you? I was like, let's do a vocal warm up where we all say movie. That's Lucas's.
That's what we do in class often.
In Montessori. Mm-hmm. And that's what Simple Jack does from Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. And Jack from Sean Penn's movie. We have quotes.
We have quotes. I have a fair amount. How many do you have?
You have? How many you got?
16.
Mine up here. I got none.
You have no quotes
for this shit. I got my self quote and I was out.
Okay, so I'll just start saying some quotes.
It's like a protest.
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
So it's just me.
Yeah. No Seth
s-
quotes.
no Seth quotes, no Devin quotes. It's just 16 from me.
Let's hear him, cowboy.
This was the bullfighting scene. No, don't move. John's why. Bulls have terrible eyesight, but they can sense motion. He goes, "You're thinking of Jurassic Park." No, I saw a nature documentary starring David Attenborough, and he's like, "You're thinking of Richard Attenborough from Jurassic Park." Was Jeff Goldblum in it? Oh my God,
Yeah.
it was Jurassic Park.
Yeah, he had it all wrong all along.
Do you remember when we saw Jurassic Park at the Paddlehead Field? Me, you, Alex, and Marina. I ate nachos. I had orange soda. I ate ice cream. It was like the best night of my life. That night, Marina saw Richard Attenborough on the credits and was like, "Oh my God, he's in here!" So
David
it's funny
Attenborough,
that there's that mix up. But
that was a good
next one, which was one of the Ryan Reynolds like quips that I actually laughed at. My mom died. Was The Rock goes, "Can you fly a helicopter?" And Ryan Reynolds goes, "Does the back of your head look like a huge penis?"
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
They threw that in there. They did.
They did. They chose that. Very end of the movie, when most of these are probably Ryan Reynolds, but The Rock goes, you know what I think is funny, Booth? And Nolan goes, Vin Diesel's audition tape for Cats, because it exists. Which I thought was funny because we did Cats on here, so I was like, oh, that's pretty good. Here's the chess pun. This whole time you were working for her, not for, with, like partners. And she goes, yeah, we're both the bishop. Surprise. And he goes, there's 2 bishops in chess. And she goes, and a whole lot of pawns.
Did you barf at that? Because I barfed at that.
I did not barf. I thought it was clever.
Barfed.
This one, I don't know. This was an IMDb one. I took it. I guess I liked it. I guess it's kind of true. There's one thing that this is from the bishop. There's one last thing you should know. Trusting a thief can. Oh, I remember. There's one last thing you should know. Trusting a thief can be dangerous. But in my head, I went, trusting a thief can be dangerous business.
Yeah, that's way better.
That's the best quote of the movie.
Don't go hand in hand.
There's one last thing you should know. She breaks out the song. Trusting a thief can be dangerous business.
That would make it a little better. Musical.
That'd raise it a whole point for you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Red Notice the musical. This is when The Rock pours the Coke on Cleopatra's egg, and there's one guy in the back goes, "What are you doing?" And the lady goes, "It's fine. He knows exactly what he's doing."
Does he? Yeah.
She had so much trust in him. One that my mom laughed again that I felt obliged to take down. What are you, 6 for 6 on escapes now? And he goes, and Nolan goes, yeah, and one more, and I get that Shawshank jacket.
Yeah.
A Shawshank and Shawshank and a Pulp Fiction reference. All they need, and a Jurassic Park. All they need is Lion King and
references
and Forrest Gump, and they've completed 1994 blockbusters.
There probably was.
There probably
Ryan Reynolds probably quipped it somewhere.
Ryan Reynolds, once again, when they're in the prison, when he's saying, you shouldn't say that I'm a cop out loud, and he goes, this is a room full of murderers and toilet vodka enthusiasts.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. I like the prison stuff better than the rest of the stuff, I think.
You like the prison scenes were your forte?
Better.
This is the bishop and Nolan going back and forth when she's revealed to be the captain. She's like, how does it always feel to be bested by the number 1? He's like, I've never been bested. It's just a lot of luck on your part. And she goes, Helsinki? He's like, my parachute failed. She goes, Jakarta? He's like, my Segway sank. She's like, Macau? He's like, nobody knew that Miley Cyrus was going to be there. It was a completely unannounced show.
Yeah, does that mean he went to the show instead of stealing the thing?
I don't know. Or there were just so many people there that he couldn't complete his mission.
I like the other idea.
I do too.
Yeah, he had to go.
This one, which comes up later, I thought it was funny when it was first said, but then it comes up to be a plot point. But it's them showering together in the Russian prison, and Ryan Reynolds goes, "Say what you will about Russian prisons, but the soap is incredible."
Yeah.
Then he's like, "It's 100% glycerin." But yeah, he's like, "Do people talk a lot about Russian prisons and their soap?"
I guess. You gotta have one thing.
This is them on the plane using the deep fake face recognition. It's if you have more than 12 photos on the internet, I can send your mom a video of you mouth sexing a goat. It's like, Ryan Reynolds, why do you have to say that?
Come on. Yeah, and then he took a lot of pictures of him right away.
Yeah. After getting beat up, Ryan Reynolds goes, wow, this is such a confusing erection.
Sure it did.
All right, we're down to just a couple. Ed Sheeran. Do you know who I am? I was in Game of Thrones. I'm Ed Sheeran, bitch.
Bitch. Reference of I'm Rick James, bitch, I'm sure.
Probably. It has to be.
Has to be.
And my three favorite ones here. This was not really a quote, it was more of a subtitle. But it's when The Rock is hanging from the bridge that fell after he got shot by the bazooka. And my subtitles say, in English, and he speaks in English. He goes, son of a bitch. And then again, in English, he just goes, shit. I was like, why?
Make sure it's not misinterpreted.
This is one that I thought you would laugh at. It's Agent Doss talking to Agent John Hantley. She goes, I checked the FBI BAU directory at Quantico. And I was like, Quantico!
Yeah, Quantico did get mentioned. Alex said that too.
Marina loves Quantico. If you haven't watched Quantico, message Marina about it. She's not. But you think she is.
She usually is.
She's not. She hasn't watched Quantico in ages.
It's her favorite show.
You would just come home and, oh, you watch a Quantico, huh?
She often was.
And my last one is when they first enter the Nazi bunker and like these lights turn on in there, and The Rock goes, well, it's got to be hydroelectric power. Like, how do you know that?
I did laugh at that too.
Because he was like, there's got to be, but he's like, there's got to be water running nearby, which I guess was to the waterfall. But the instant he jumps to, it's got to be hydroelectric power, reminded me of, it's the piezoelectric crystals.
Yeah.
That the Hulk Hogan says. Yeah. And that's the end of my quotes. Are you done with quotes?
That was all mine.
Your one self quote.
Yeah,
what was it again? Say it again, just for good measure.
It was, my dad was a toast, so I'm a toaster.
There you go. All right. It's ratings time.
Just me.
Critics tomato meter.
Got 2 wins under my belt. I'm going to say, I know this wasn't well received, I don't think. I'm going to say that 34%.
Oh my God, you're so fucking close. It's a 36.
Oh, I'm pretty close. Hey, good to me.
Seth, you're down again.
You're down.
He did get the 1, though. He got one of the budgets. Audience score on Rotten Tomatoes?
It's probably like a 58%.
Not close. It's a 92.
Oh, come on, people.
People love The Rock and Ryan Reynolds.
People are dumb for doing that.
Hi, Jinjo. I bet most people will say Gal Gadot was the worst of the 3 actors.
There's no way. She was by far the best.
By far the best. But I'll say it right now. People are like, Ryan Reynolds was so Ryan Reynolds, and The Rock, there's just a charisma and a charm about him.
There isn't. He's large. So
Metascore?
Metacritic, you say?
Out of 100.
I'll say a 40.
You're really close. It's a 37.
Interesting. Numbers.
You're right in line with the critics. Audience out of 10?
Fuck, I don't know. 60.
6.0?
Yeah.
You're close. It's a 6.3.
6.3 people.
You're 0.3, 0.3, 0.2, and then 2.9 off.
And then you gotta do all your Rain Man stuff to tell us the averages, right?
Critics 36 and 37 for a 36.5, and audiences a 92 and a 63, which is gonna be a 14.5, which is gonna be a 77.5.
Okay, what are you rating it, Brandon?
Oh, you're gonna start with me.
Switch it up. Little tennis tag.
Because you played tennis a little bit, are you more of a singles or a doubles player?
Probably singles. I don't think I've ever played doubles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mostly played doubles. Oh, sad. You got a friend in me. Just Jinjo. Who mauls you sometimes, but
Often.
I mostly played doubles in high school because the singles were reserved for like the best players. But this movie wasn't amazing. It definitely, I don't think I was ever bored with it. It had a decent pacing. I would say that if they could have shot on location, it would have been better, which it's hard to fault them for being the COVID pandemic, but I still will, regardless. $200 million is way too big of a budget. But I do love a good heist film. I'm going to give it a 5.8.
Okay, I thought that's about where you would land the spaceship. Okay.
I liked it more than some of our action films that we've done of recently. You know, we always bring up San Andreas, our monster trucks. I did like it more than The Great Wall, I think, just a little bit, which you will disagree with. It was it was definitely better than Stealth.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I'm a 5.8. It was
5.8.
It was okay.
I think I'm going to give it. I still don't know. I'm kind of grappling with it as I say this. I'm going to give this a 1.9 on the lasagna scale. I think I hated a lot of it. The dialogue, I hated The Rock. I hated Ryan Reynolds. I hated the CGI. I thought it had more brains maybe in some of the storytelling than I gave it credit for, even if that did just amount to like throwing twists on the wall like they're stickers, you know what I mean? Just twist, just for the sake of twist at some point. It's no Ishtar. I'll say a 1.9.
I thought that was right around where you were gonna do it too, so
we know each other well.
I do
what
say
do you think Seth would have given it?
Seth would have given this a 3.2.
Yeah, I'd probably think in the 2s or something, yeah.
I would say that if you're not a fan of The Rock or Ryan Reynolds,
Of the
Ryan, it's gonna be really hard to enjoy this movie anyway. But people eat that shit up, which is why apparently the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is a 92. So
crazy. I think people maybe even starve for movies too.
A 1.9 and a 5.8, that's 6.8, that's 7.7 divided by 2. It's gonna be 3.9 average.
Sure.
Which is right about critics.
Fair.
We're critics ourselves. Yeah. I wanted to vote for this for best looking movie for our
bracket.
Our bracket, but then I watched it and I was like, I don't know if I can. There's some really shitty CGI. I mean, it's not worst looking in any means. It's not grainy.
There are
grainy
parts
footage.
That look good. Yeah, and
there are. But I was expecting Fool's Gold best looking movie kind of stuff, and it wasn't, unfortunately.
Spend your money better.
Movie. Yeah, movie. Fuck you, movie.
Fuck you, movie.
But it definitely isn't the worst looking movie. Like I said, the room was grainy, 2 camera filmed overlapping each other shit. So it definitely will be a nominee for
some or other.
For least
with most resources.
Least with most resources, yeah, for sure.
For sure.
We'll see if it lands in any of my acting. You want to hear a couple reviews?
7?
I've got 3 critics first.
Yeah.
First is by Peter de Bruges at Variety. They say, fun, fast-paced, and frequently amusing divertisement. It's all reasonably clever, so long as you don't scrutinize it too closely.
Yeah. No score because he's a coward, but yeah.
It's a run-of-the-mill, just kind of put it on kind of movie. Next is by David Rooney at The Hollywood Reporter. He says, you can't argue with the muscular marquee value of headlining Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot in a slick, fast-paced action thriller laced with playful comedy, even if it's an empty-calorie entertainment like Red Notice.
Okay. Sounds like a Fast and the Furious type deal.
Yep. And then Justin Chang at LA Times says, a depressing reminder of what Hollywood considers original material these days. Red Notice plays one of those self-consciously convoluted, ultimately derivative long cons that strain so hard to seem breezily insouciant, they wind up wearing you out. By the end, it's the cliches that warrant the rest.
Yeah. A good word, insouciant.
INSOUCIANT. I had to stop and read it for a
Nice,
second.
insouciant.
I think that's how you say it.
I'm gonna have to throw that into my vocab now.
What does that mean?
Doesn't matter. We don't know what ostensibly means.
We kind of do now.
Insouciantly.
We used it so much that we kind of do. We haven't said ostensibly in a long time though. Insouciance is a casual lack of concern or indifference.
So kind of ostensibly.
Insouciance.
Ooh, insouciant.
Insouciant. Okay. Good catch.
Okay. And reviews. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who would have guessed?
Oh, IMDb?
Yes. This had a lot.
I figured.
First is by returner Leaf Weindraka.
This guy.
February 25th, 2022, they say, unbelievable that this cost Netflix $200 million to make because you wouldn't know it from watching. An utterly bland and generic scavenger hunt film in which a trio travel the world hunting for Cleopatra's Fabergé eggs, a made-up plot point. Lots of exotic locations and money spent on the CGI-dominated action, typically involving fires and explosions, but made with a 12 certificate, so very family-oriented, lacking the crucial bite of a Bond or Bourne film. The Rock is a little bland. Gal Gadot, unfortunately limited, and a wisecracking Ryan Reynolds the only mildly entertaining part of this. As for the cameo at the climax, no thanks. 5 out of 10.
It's kind of a similar score to you still, even though he's shared mostly criticisms.
Yeah.
Just sort of harmless. I get it.
Yeah. Snoopy style. Let's see what Seth has to say about this since he's not here.
I would love it.
November
His
17th,
insights.
2021. This was the longest Snoopy style review I've ever seen. You've
Ooh.
done a couple scripts yourself, and so you've seen that his are relatively brief. One paragraph, which is a summary of the plot, and
Usually,
a second,
yeah.
his thoughts. But he said, there's no doubt that this has plenty of star power. On its face, this trio should make a fun, slick action comedy, but it struggles to build chemistry. Right from the start, there's something unreal about this, more than its ridiculous superhero action structure. There's something wrong with the character John Hartley being imprisoned by the Russians. It doesn't make sense. It may not matter to some, but it's hella annoying to me. I started to expect the Rock to turn. Even after the turn, the movie still doesn't make sense. Again, most people could not care less, but it is very annoying to me. The bigger issue may be a need for better chemistry between Reynolds and The Rock. It should be the easiest thing in the world for Hartley's character, but it is hounded by my suspicions. That prevents the chemistry to truly take hold. This one feels very desperate to be slick fun rather than actually being that. I'm guessing that they expect to do more with these movies, but I don't see how. 5 out of 10.
Critical, ultimately mid reveal. Yes, I think they're being too easy on it. The scores.
Classic Snoopy style, though.
Classic.
Cosmasp. This guy.
Cossie.
Do you hate him or
He
you love
sucks
him today?
lately.
Oh, he sucks. Okay. November 17th, 2021. They say it is this type of movie that is overall forgettable in the sense that you probably won't think about it much, either during watching it nor having seen it. But the actors make it quite an enjoyable ride to take part of. Even Gal Gadot, who I like and find quite attractive in general, but have not enjoyed acting-wise as much, is quite fitting overall. Ryan Reynolds is his usual funny self, stealing the show if you allow the pun. Any fan of his will be more excited watching the movie. Add The Rock as a spice, and you cannot do wrong. Lower your expectations and
He's
just
the
go
opposite
with
of
the flow.
spice.
7 out of 10.
The Rock is the opposite of spice.
He's scary spice.
And he's ice spice.
I just always hate the thing like lower your expectations and just watch it. Like, no.
Yeah, this is art. We take this seriously.
Lower your expectations and go with the flow. 7 out of 10. Cost mask.
Come on.
All right, 3 shorter ones now. First one is by Thunder King 6, newcomer.
Okay, welcome to the party.
December 13th, 2021. They say, my stalkers are trigged. A horrible movie. Very boring. Not worth watching. It's about 3 men searching for an egg. It concludes with a horrible ending. I always ask myself, what is the point of making these films? They look like filth. They seem pointless. Who comes up with these filthy movies? Don't watch this movie. 3 out of 10.
That's it. That's a man who's after my own heart.
Did he call Gal Gadot a man?
Probably. It's all
Probably.
his gender identity politics.
Next is by W011YM Y4M5.
Okay.
Y4M55
4-5.
on November 13th, 2021, they say a soulless, superficial, hollow corporate product devoid of character, chemistry, warmth, charm, or any semblance of personality. It's ironic that in a film which centers around the unhealthy, immoral consumption and accumulation of artwork and how individuals fail to appreciate it for what it is, only caring about a piece's financial value, that same lack of artistry and the prioritization of needlessly gratuitous expenditure is simultaneously reflected in the movie's filmmaking. 4 out of 10.
Also, pretty high score for Soulless. A soulless movie. Which I agree with, but yeah.
And the prioritization of needlessly gratuitous expenditure?
Yeah, that's anti what I'm about.
That's anti-Lukey.
Yeah.
Penultimate one. Oh, I didn't put... Oh, shit, I didn't put who wrote this.
Mystery box.
Oh no. Hold up, I can find it real quick. I will find it for you. Reviews. Lucas Spitball.
I bet this is by Bevo. Or Every Movie's a 10.
Oh shit, I'm writing a review right now.
I hope it's not Lee Eisenberg. I hope it's not Little Songbird. She hasn't shown up yet.
She's not here.
She hasn't seen this movie?
Apparently not.
Yeah, I hope it's none of those. Every Movie a 10 is really our champion.
I love that guy. All right, here it is. It's by Emily Kurtz. It's a newcomer.
Okay.
She says, "Get real. Oh my god, people. Oh, OMG, people take life way too serious anymore. Relax and then just enjoy a movie, for Pete's sake. Yes, this movie can be somewhat predictable, but not entirely. Aren't most movies now? Stop looking for the best movie that's ever been written and just grab your popcorn and sit back and chill out for a while. Fuck! 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Nice. A true critic right there. From
Yeah.
Emily.
And my last one is by The One That You Wanted.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
Yeah. November 20th, 2021, they say, even The Rock looked like he did not want to be in this movie. And he is literally the most jolly man on the planet Earth and Planet Fitness. 1 out of 10.
And got paid $20 million to do it. Yeah.
He did.
Rock.
That's going to end it this week. Red Notice. Lucas, are you recommending this film?
Nope. It's a bad Marvel action movie without the flying.
And without the Marvel.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
The spirit is there. Yeah.
I think I will recommend it, but this is way down the road on heist films. Watch your Oceans, watch your Bournes, watch your, I don't know what else. Watch
Logan
that
Lucky.
one Rick and Morty episode. Watch Logan Lucky. Like there are
But
better ones to watch first.
The Sting, the Italian
Oh,
Job. I get what you're
the
saying.
Sting is good. Italian Job's good. Yeah, I mean, there are these ones that you should
love this
watch.
genre. That makes sense.
Yeah, if you love it, go watch it. But watch the better ones first, okay?
Okay.
And that's going to end it this week. Thank you, Seth, for
Thank you,
apparently
Devin.
being on for the first 33 minutes. Devin for trying to make it. This is the end of season 6. Next week, we've got our bracket for season 6.
Tune in.
Yeah, I work next weekend, so it'll probably have to be an evening one. And
That's
normally
okay.
on Sundays I get off at 6, but then they're like, "Hey, you have to do a controlled substance audit that night after you close, which takes another hour, so it'll probably be at 8."
That's okay. We'll figure it out.
I thought the first bracket we ever did was a celebration where we did tuxedos and nice wear. Last season was pajama wear, where Devin did not wear pajamas. But I'm thinking this season, frat bros. I want backwards hats. I want jerseys.
Sure. You want buds.
The fucking bros.
You want, what is it called? Roofalin.
Well, I wasn't thinking that frat bro. We were gonna roofie people, but
Oh.
maybe Seth.
You could get Roofalin, I bet.
I don't think I can. I
Is it
really
not
don't think I can.
a controlled substance?
That's not a part of my audit next Sunday.
Oh, okay.
We'll find a time to coordinate what our votes are going to be when we can get Seth and maybe Devin here if he does any votes. We hope you enjoyed season 6 and Red Notice and Ishtar.
We hope you enjoyed Ishtar.
And we're going to be kicking off season 7 after the bracket with our 100th episode, not counting our TV talks or writer's blocks.
That's cool.
With my birthday episode, I'm finishing the season 7 schedule. But if you want to get a jump on it, we're doing a film on Netflix called Chef. Okay.
Word.
Okay.
Word.
It's I Captain. I'm wearing a captain's hat.
Word, Captain.
Word, Captain. So thank you for joining us. Send Lucas some recipes. Send Seth some thoughts and prayers. Send Devin some nudes.
Yeah, he loves those.
He fucking loves those. That shit. And with that, we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
I love you. Bye. In a good movie and a good douche.
We made it.
2:14.
Pretty good.
That's good timing. Yeah. A little long for just you and I, but pretty good.
We needed to hash it out. And now I need to go soak my dick.
Jesus, that's still on the YouTube video. I need to go soak my dick. I will try and message Devin about the Google Drive. And maybe we can try and meet up
or something
one evening. I bet it's probably going to have to be Thursday if you can make a Thursday work, a Thursday evening.
Probably.
I guess it doesn't even need to be evening because I'm off Thursday. Seth's off Thursday, but I work like every other night that Seth works. So, and he works till like 10. So, and we're usually not up till 10. We're in bed at that point.
I'm asleep usually by now.
But yeah, we'll see. It looks like we're basically done with ours, and we'll do a ranking and whatnot and go from there.
I love the brackets. It'll be fun.
The bracket will be super fun. Yeah.
Word. Have a blessed night, Brandon.
Have a Red Notice night, Lucas.
Oh, don't wish that on me.
Later.